happened last time.
I
I
wanted
already
to
told
die.
you.
Yeah, but now the recording's
Yes,
going.
that one.
Since Cody
Except you link
understands
the YouTube
everything,
version
it's
that
his
doesn't have
turn.
his dick in it.
Stop
Well-
looking at Russians helicoptering their dicks.
Well, we left the airship to travel to Henley's village
Yep.
or town
Airship
or
brought down by
estate.
dragons. Yeah.
Well, that was the previous session.
Yeah, I mean, it
Last
doesn't.
session.
What last time can extend to the general circumstances
Sure.
of this time.
Last time on Dragon Ball Z, we came to a bridge which was surrounded by spiders who are not of this dimension.
What was the
apparently.
bridge's name?
The Liar.
All right, that's close enough.
Yeah, it's something to liar because it makes the ropes are so taut that you could run your hands like a liar past the bridge as you walk through it or something like that. Correct?
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
Basically. Basically.
Anyway, there's extra-dimensional alien spiders there who are demanding ransom by speaking spider click-clack tongues that Reed can understand because plot reasons.
Hey, that's
Whoa,
part of
whoa,
it.
whoa,
That's
whoa,
part of
whoa,
his
whoa.
class.
You said click clack tongues. That sounds racist.
I was. I hate
Rephrase,
spiders.
please.
No, I hate spiders. I will not rephrase. Anyway, we said, fuck you guys, and we rode a broom across the gap with Arena, and it was a magical moment. This was after we spent 45 minutes discussing why the spiders want money.
They don't
We
want
can't
money.
really-
They're in charge of guarding it to control trade over it, and they're doing it
They're-
on behalf
they're
of somebody.
passing-
The
yeah, they're
spiders have
passing a
seized the
toll.
production.
They're passing a toll, which means they're getting money also.
They're
Hey,
acting on the behalf of the Burgenmeister.
yes, which is a little strange to see spiders doing.
It's kind of the fucking
So-
point.
Yeah, well, we all made a mental note that now's not the best time to do anything about this because we can also see spiders in the trees. We're gonna come back for this and handle this later. We then made our way to the village, which is now nothing like what Henley thought it used to be, as it's a much larger place, and there's guards, and the guards said, "Oh, you're Zweiziken," which then Ito said that this guy's enthralled. I'm gonna spend 1 hour deducing everything I can to think about him for it. And then I don't remember much of it. There was a combat. We killed some spiders. I obliterated the guard to ashes on accident, but he was kind of in the way. And
Hey, get your
should-
unconscious corpse body thing out of my way, idiot.
that's about the extent of what I remember.
Yeah, resistance fighters showed up and shot arrows, and they're like, "Zweiziken, we have resistance," and then we left.
Oh yeah, shot all the guards that we were trying to not kill.
Yeah, and now Connor's making out with the Lord and staying in town. Oh, I mean Ito.
No,
Yes,
it's
that
Connor.
guy.
No, it's Connor. That's what happened last Sunday on Dragon Ball Z.
Did it now?
You want? Here, I can start over again if you want. So basically,
Well, no, hold on. Hold on. Now what?
No, yeah.
Now what was this town's name?
Yeah.
Zweizenkenville.
That's what it is now.
So
Wait,
here in
German, so
the
it'd
town
be-
of
It'd be
Zweizenkenville.
Schwezenkenberg.
No, it's Zootopia.
Oh hell yeah! That's why they're always hunting the animals. They're hunting them all right.
Where's Judy Hopps? I demand to speak with Judy Hopps right now.
Oh god. They're making
That's
the
where
hard
Connor was
eyes at the
going.
giant rabbit from Monster Hunter.
There's a giant rabbit in Monster Hunter.
I guess.
Yeah, I
As
forget what
hell,
it's
but
called.
Yes.
I guess we'll ask Rick. What's the name
Right,
of this
yeah.
town?
I don't remember if I ever named it.
Schwezenkenberg.
No.
It's-
No, it's not called Zweizenkenberg. It's called Bamberg.
Well, that's not as fun.
Well, we can name it Zweizenkenberg.
Wilderstadt.
Wilderstadt.
It's
That's good.
Wilderstadt.
So,
I had to look at my own notes.
you find yourselves having traveled to Henley's home, essentially, is the place from where he hails. Originally one time a simple hunting village, now transformed into the belly of a capitalist beast beneath the harsh overseer Burgenmeister Rhett Brewster, patriarch of the Brewster family, formerly the family that was considered second place. The previous family holding first place all of them happened to have unfortunate hunting accidents, hunting the very spiders and beasts that were under the same thrall of the Brewster family. Convenient, no doubt. At the town, it quickly became apparent that Zweisenbergs were a unwelcome group in the town, owing to the fact that they themselves led a resistance against this progress in their minds, this transformation, a metamorphosis from a caterpillar to a butterfly, at least in the view of Rhett Burgenmeister Brewster. It became apparent pretty quickly that they may have been trying to get you to just come inside so they could probably take Henley into some sort of custody, but you decided probably wiser to not. Made your way away, and they sent out guards to follow you, which you dealt with handily. There, you met a couple of other people in the resistance led by someone named Jack Crowder, of the Crowder family. Another family that was relatively on the lower end of the totem pole, but also stood in alignment with the Zweisenkins in wanting a return to the old ways of hunting, fishing, self-reliance. No big government. They're all libertarians. You're now in and amongst libertarian wild men.
He's a libertarian. Laugh at him.
It's literally not, because it's publicly owned land.
They demand self-reliance.
Can the big bad evil guy be Ayn Rand?
No.
What about the Tuttle
Can't tell
Twin?
if you guys have actually started or not.
Ayn Rand wanted to kill Native Americans. That's way too close. That's way too real for this.
A complete
Can we
dissolution of the government.
can we fight the Tuttle Twin?
But no. Meanwhile, while that happened, Ito went on his own adventure. He himself managed to finagle his way in, convincing the guards that he was actually an emissary from the Empire itself. Managed to... They seemed pretty eager to have the recognition of the Empire, so they were a little bit more willing to let him in. He probably got a relatively innocent guard flogged. But that's okay, because it got him in to meet Burgenmeister Brewster. However, Burgenmeister Brewster was not really all that... he was eager to meet you, but wasn't completely convinced by the deception, really. Having known that you traveled to town with the Zweisenkin, with Henley. But, however, you sort of were able to smooth it over, convincing him that you were just using him as a guide, and while he does still seem a little bit apprehensive of you, he is happy to meet you, moving you to the top of a 6-week queue, just so he could have the opportunity to speak at length about the progress of the town and its larger role within the Empire itself. With you sitting at one end of the table, he at the other, and his young wife, Henley's sister, younger sister. Obviously unhappily there, but there nonetheless. And that's basically what happened last time. Anything else that happened was probably not that important. Maybe. I don't know. Point is, we ended with Connor last time, and guess what? That's where we're starting. Ito.
What?
we ended with you sitting down at the table of the Burgenmeister, him staring at you with deep, almost sunken eyes, sort of darkened around at the edges, the sort of bags underneath that sort of show that he's done very little sleep, or had very little sleep recently. While you are served, and
on that note, when you say like hasn't had any sleep recently, does he look like he's like long-term exhausted, like he's a walking corpse, or he just something has been keeping him up at night in the last 2 days?
It just looks like he doesn't sleep very much.
Okay.
He's got that long-term look of not sleeping very much.
Okay.
But
set in insomnia. Got it.
While you are served, I mean, you've probably had finer meals, no doubt. You've traveled and been in some of the most impressive places in this land. You yourself are the lord of a house. Even so, it's still pretty impressive fare for the relatively remote nature of this region. What appears to be large, sort of hocks of... You think it's beef, but upon closer inspection, it's definitely horse. There is a very sort of thin, low alcohol wine that is served to you next to a large pitcher of water. He himself watches you intently and does not, while he is served as well, you can see he doesn't even move to pick up his fork. He merely sort of watches you through steepled fingers. He seems to be just appraising you, trying to size you up.
Do I have to like roll performance to pretend to enjoy the meal or something?
No.
Or
I was just seeing if you want to say anything. He's mostly just sitting in silence.
I will. It's me, him, and the sister, right, or the wife?
Yes.
That's it.
She barely picks at her food, only eating small mouthfuls every now and then. Her head sort of lowered down, looking largely at the plate.
Is she like? Is there anything about her like person that looks out of place? Like this, like, is she restrained or anything?
She is not restrained. She bears no restraints.
Okay.
She looks like she has her hair done in a relatively older style. At one time it used to be in vogue maybe 20 years ago, but now it is... Within the more civilized regions, it would be considered a little bit old.
Okay.
Done in braids held up around the top of her head.
Well, if assuming I'm the only one that's really eating, once I finish my meal, I will slide it over and ask, shall we begin? Would you like to begin on the morning? Because it's starting to be afternoon, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Time has
I think I
passed.
arrived at noon.
Quite a bit of time has passed, and he sort of
Okay.
sits there and says, I'm just trying to get a feel for you.
Okay. How
long have you worked as an envoy for the Empire?
17 years.
It's a long time. What would you say the
Keeps
most
moving.
interesting place you've been? I imagine a little rinky-dink town like this hardly even scratches the top 10.
Well, truth be told, after a while, each individual region stops feeling like a place of the Empire and starts feeling very individualistic. But it really ultimately comes down to the primary question of: are you going to remain a imperial vassal, or are you going to attempt to I've lost the term. Secede. You've filled there was a seat of power here that you've obviously sort of overtaken. Is your plan to remain a vassal of the Empire as they were?
We are ever loyal to the Empire, obviously. I would not
That's
have
usually
much
the best
interest. I would not have much interest in meeting with you were that not the case. I would just have you killed and say you never arrived. Probably easier at the end of the day.
That is a
Base.
choice that some try to make. Well, if you're assuming your predecessor's vassalship, then we would have to begin with that discussion of what ultimately led to the turnover and what remains the same. It's usually the easiest place to start.
Well, there's been practically nothing that remains the same. That was kind of the point. This town was nothing. Basically, backwoods grouping of huts. Hardly the magnificent town that you see currently, and growing weekly.
Just to confirm about the meal that I just ate, was it? I understand that it was horse, so obviously, like, it's not ideal. But was it prepared? Did they do anything to try and like dress it up, or is this like
He is cooked,
starvation rations?
cooked well enough. Is fine.
Okay, but like they don't have the product, maybe.
You have no clue. You don't know if it's a regional thing. You don't know if they're out. You don't know.
That's fair. Okay. Yeah. So it doesn't seem like rebellious insurrection. I would need to know some details as to the turnover for my report, purely so that the Emperor knows of your region's current stability.
There are dissenters, to be sure. We do have the occasional run-in with, well, wild men of the forest, I guess you could call them. Vagabonds, hermits, the like. Hardly an organized force.
Would the companion that I unknowingly hired to bring me out here, would he fall within that group?
His family is really the most prominent amongst them. Most vocal, at the very least.
But they did not hold the seat of power before you, correct?
Oh no. They were at the bottom. They should really appreciate the upturning that I've done. I mean, realistically, they had nowhere to go but up. But some people don't know a gift when it's presented to them. You understand? They are children that throw a temper tantrum just because they don't exactly get their way.
Just to confirm, this guy hasn't actually like asked my name or anything, has he?
Nope.
No? Okay, I didn't think so. Well, again, trying to flesh out the understanding of stability here. The principal antagonist that you mentioned, the Zweisenkin, as your guards called them, they were not your predecessor. Is your predecessor also a threat? Or are they gone?
My predecessor is in the people that were above me? Oh, no. No, they've been taken care of.
The previous seat of power.
They've been taken care of.
Just the crown would rather not begin business as usual with the potentiality for resurgence, uprising, that kind of thing. It can make this kind of transition very rocky. Are we talking mass execution? We need to send troops to support you so that a prison riot doesn't occur? What are we talking about logistically here? If a threat were to occur, what would that look like?
Now, we would obviously welcome your presence of any sort of aid that you wish to give. We don't need a terribly large amount. There are no uprisings of that level. Sure, the occasional small band that wishes to cause some trouble, but nothing, certainly nothing large scale.
And I understand with these kind of transitions that the loyalty of troops can be difficult to maintain. How's that going?
My troops, well, they do pretty much anything for me. I see that they're well fed, well taken care of.
Is that at all levels?
Well, I try to make sure that at the very least even the soldiers at the lowest level can afford to eat, take care of themselves. Now, as for the trouble itself, the most vocal voices, the Weizenkin, they've been largely apprehended or brought into line. You can see, no doubt, my lovely wife does not seem to be happy to be here, as he sort of motions to the girl next to him, and you can see just the mere mention of it causes her to, like, stiffen. She is a Weizenkin and certainly had no wish to be wed to me, I can assure you of that. It's not a matter of love or desire. It's about keeping your enemies close. Close enough that should they do something, well, you can put a dagger straight to the knife of someone they give a damn about. I don't care about her remotely. Not beyond what she can offer me in that regard. With her families, largely, most specifically her parents in jail and her at my side, it really does do wonders to keep the others in line.
Okay. One of my primary concerns here on my walk up, which again I was supposed to be escorted. It was kind of awkward. He had something to attend to.
Oh, I know.
Your men don't seem particularly equipped within the field of magic.
That is
And
true
we in
enough.
the Empire are beginning to notice that is becoming a larger aptitude in terms of subterfuge.
That is true enough. There is little in the ways of the arcane magic that pops up often out here. The occasional druid, yes, but for the most part we are relatively starved of magic. That being
Perhaps,
said, the
okay.
Empire can help with that.
That's what I was getting at. Would that be your primary request? Is that the Empire provide mages?
Oh, I wouldn't say specifically mages, but any help would be useful.
These Weizenkin, do they have any aptitude towards that kind of thing?
Generally, they are hunters, rangers, and the like.
One second.
They do have a powerful smell that you could think was magic. They stink.
I
Sorry,
believe that.
Wow. Fuck you.
running issues with the kid. I'm sorry. And you said the vast majority of these Weizenkin were executed, or they're being held?
There were some that were executed. Most of them are being held. There are those that live within the town. I imagine perhaps they have their anger simmering just below the surface, knowing that at any point in time I could kill one of their own. But most of them have been set, or at least a majority of them have fallen into line through one means or another.
When you say falling into the line, are we talking basic peasantry? They've enlisted.
They've joined as gears in the beautiful cog that is the town of Wilderstadt now.
Okay. If I may, I'd like to see the prison, the ones that aren't as subjugated as the ones you claim to be having difficulty with. Perhaps in order to ensure the stabilization of the new vassalship, we could transition them into an imperial prison. Now, obviously, that would be a bit of an undertaking, but it would start with this report. And Connor is not, but Ito is scribbling notes as he goes.
Connor.
Sir.
Are you trying to pick his brain, or is this information you weren't aware of?
This is information Ito was not aware of.
No, I'm asking you the player, not you the character.
No. I'm literally trying to get him to bring me into this prison.
Okay, I was saying because Colin explains this to us. So if you have any questions.
No, yeah. No, I caught all of that.
I was making sure that you were on the same page, not that Ito necessarily was. All right.
No. Yeah, I am purposefully playing Ito's unawareness.
Okay, but I was talking about because the other guys were killed and.
Yep.
Okay, I was making sure. All right.
Yeah, no, I'm tracking. I just unfortunately I can't just go, hey Colin, I already know all this. Can we jump to the?
No, I know. I was just making sure that we're all on the same page.
As you're sitting there eating, the door opens and a guard sort of strides across the floor. You can hear his boots echoing on the hard wood floor as he comes to the side of the Burgenmeister and leans over his ear. He whispers something under his breath. The Burgenmeister just sort of nods his head. Very well. I go. So the dungeons.
I'm sorry, was that me?
No.
You was speaking to me?
No,
Okay.
he was talking to the guard. So the dungeons. Why do you want to see them?
Well, as I said, with this kind of thing, with the prospect of a new vassal, especially with, I'm not sure if you guys here have been affected by it, but we are on the cusp of war in other regions. So the security and stability of any new vassals is of paramount importance. And it seems like you do have this situation well in hand, but it would be easier overall for us to ensure that the likelihood of any uprising is quashed from the beginning. That would, I'm sure, bring the Emperor much less concern with your region and give you the ability to run it as you can see fit. But involvement with the Empire in stability, military, and logistics will assist in confirming that this vassalship is yours. And because let me tell you, and I can speak from experience from where I originally hail from, the more problems you give the Empire in the beginning, the less this becomes Bergenstein?
Wilderstadt.
Wilderstadt, yeah, the vassalship of Wilderstadt, and the more it becomes an imperial outpost.
Well, that's a fine offer.
And with war coming, your people all of a sudden start becoming the crown's people, because conscription is definitely on the rise.
So your purpose here, the Empire's purpose, is to largely aid me in securing it.
Largely to make sure if things are shaky, those shakes are at a minimum. Worst case scenario, we can round up all of these Zweisenkerd, I'll purposefully say the name wrong, and we can hurl them at the war effort, throw them in the vanguard, execute them that way.
The Zweisenturds.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What?
And if, as I say that, I would like to try and notice, is me saying anything about this family getting anything out of this sister?
She sits rather stoically.
We're talking like Stockholm Syndrome, it's just all washing over her.
You're not. Roll an insight check.
Oh boy, these guys. 10.
You're not sure if it's exactly as you're hitting her, or if it's she's just almost like a blank slate, a stoic slate.
Would it be an Arcana check to see if I can get any vibe on like magical prowess on this dude?
Sure.
I'm asking if that's not something I can do. I don't.
You can roll like perception checks to see if he's got any magical accoutrement or.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. Like anything that I've seen, like with Aruna
Or like
or even myself.
You could roll like an investigation check on some of his stuff.
It's the same. Perceptions +4. I don't know if that would be applicable.
I mean, it would be a perception check or an investigation check.
Okay, I'll do perception. 23.
He doesn't bear any talismans or spell component pouches or anything like that. Doesn't seem to have any of the accoutrement of a mage that you would expect.
Okay.
A funny word.
So realistically, as I said, I apologize. I am a bit late. Generally speaking, when these kind of things rear their head, we would respond immediately, and we would determine which side we want to support it accordingly, follow it through. Unfortunately, with this war that I mentioned, we're showing up a bit late, and we don't really have much of a choice. So a lot of this is largely in your hand as to how much support you want. However, the barest minimum is I need to get an idea for how stable this region is now. If it's not the Zweisenkin that are going to be a thorn in your side, you mentioned it's not the previous power holders. Is there a fear of an outside influence of a third party coming into play?
Currently, as it stands, the druids of the region are embroiled in their own civil war and hardly a matter to us. The other players in this region, they can be bought off pretty easily.
But the Zweisenkin cannot be.
Unfortunately not, nor some of the other families that hold to the more traditional values. I merely seek to know, as an emissary of the envoy, and we are the obvious ruling power here, looking for the alliance of the envoy, the Empire, if you're willing to help us.
I am largely intended to remain neutral. My report is the ultimate statement, and then that is provided directly to the Emperor. She makes her determination. She responds accordingly. It's actually one of the few things that she enjoys doing. Is that of making her own determinations. So if you want the help,
well then I can, well, perhaps it would change your mind to know that a dozen loyal men to the Empire, good men, families, friends here, were killed not more than a half an hour ago by your Zweisenkin and band that you were just traveling.
that is unfortunate. We definitely did get a hot-headed read from them, so you telling me they were part of these usurpers is unfortunately not surprising.
And so, I ask once again if you're willing to... The Empire can help me deal with this problem.
I would need to know the request in full of what exactly it is you are needing at this time.
I want you to draw this Zweisenkin out, and his allies, If you traveled with him and he has any trust towards you, then pull him out. I don't need to kill him if he is your friend. Mayhaps if he only had the chance to look at the progress that we've made, he could be convinced.
Truth be told, he's a younger chap. I didn't spend too much time with him. Headstrong is definitely up there. I might be able to draw him out, but realistically, if you're going to get assistance from the Crown in any capacity, I need to see the state of the stability of this place. You know, I can assist in drawing him out to help with a short-term problem, or I can send a request for formalized archmages and military troops to come in here, hold this down while you sort this rabble out. We can round them all up, we can send them to the Vanguard, and they can freeze to death up north.
So, again, you're asking me about the stability of the region before determining the help that I'm able to have.
In order to ascertain specifically what is needed, I would need to understand the problem in full. Right now, as I said, it appears that you have the vast majority of things, if not in hand, at least adhered to in some fashion, and that's all well and good. But I'm not here for the good, I'm here for the problems. I need to see the problems so that I can determine what is needed. If you truly think drawing out this individual would assist, that's fine. Is he known? Is he particularly more important? Is he a pariah than the ones you already hold?
Oh.
When I encountered him, he was barely an adult.
I have my reasons.
Okay. I don't need to know what they are, I just need to understand.
And you should understand by now. Yes, we are having problems. Yes, by and large, the most vocal of the leaders do sit in jail. And yes, we are running into some resistance. Minor, to say the least. Even so, it can be quite troublesome. Currently, we are the people in charge of this town. Are we not?
That's what I'm here to find out.
Well, you have my thanks for your time. Perhaps you should retire somewhere. I imagine you're quite weary from your journeys.
It has been a long one.
Yes.
I hope my companions have not caused too much trouble. Is the loss of the 12 you mentioned, is that a particularly hefty blow?
An annoyance. A hefty blow indeed for the families.
It may sound cold, but unfortunately the Crown at this time is trying to take a longer view.
Yes.
And I also don't care. Sorry.
Is there, a particular... Would you like to stay within the city itself, or do you have plans to sleeping outside it?
I can stay within the city. In fact, I would prefer it. I've been sleeping rough for the last, well, a while. I believe I passed an inn on the way here. That would be more than adequate. Or your officer class was quite fond of the idea. While I do have records and notes, I am a musician of a kind. They seemed rather excited for that.
Yes, well, I'm sure they can visit you in the inn. Should they wish to.
I will stay in the inn.
Very good. And he just sort of smiles. And a guard comes to escort you out. Roll an Roll an insight check.
Not good. 6.
He keeps just the faintest little smile on his face as you leave, nodding his head, saying, "I must thank you for your time. It has been truly elucidating."
Thank you. And I will,
That's not a real word. Fuck off.
I will gather my paperwork and I will give like a curt bow to him and to his wife, and I will excuse myself and I will follow out the door.
All right. You're immediately met by, or the guard that comes in. You recognize as Derek, who stands there, saying, "All right, yeah."
Derek was the
What?
kind of no nonsense one, right?
He was one of the ones you met at the house, essentially. Looking for an inn, huh?
I believe there was one up down the hill.
Oh, you don't want to go to that one. That one's terrible. Bed bugs.
Understandable.
You want to go to something a little bit more high end, upper class. You seem like a fancy sort of fellow.
Can be. I'm assuming we're walking as we're talking.
Yes.
If I could, Master Derek, I would like to ask you a few quick things on our walk.
Oh yeah, of course.
How are your rations?
Oh, I can't complain. We have full bellies, good mead, fine ales.
Could things be better, though? I believe I was served horse, which is understandable, but are things that bad?
Well, some of the wild game's been a little bit light.
Is that the primary... import is not the right word, but is that the primary food item? Just purely game, no farming? Unfortunately, I'm from the south.
He looks around at the snow everywhere.
Well, sure.
Snow on the ground 9 months of the year a lot of times.
Forgive me, I'm from warmer climes.
Frozen ground like this isn't much use for farming. There are berries and things like that you can scavenge mushrooms, but certainly not growing any crops.
But to be felling horses to feed the troops, that feels counterproductive, isn't it?
Oh. The horses themselves, you'd be surprised how little you need them when you have the industry of steam machines that can run things.
In place of cavalry?
In place of where you would normally use horses. Imagine mills that run not on horses running in circles, but on steam engines that power the mill, that power it. Not on wind that can be prone to the fickle whims of Mother Nature.
Interesting. The Ringmeister didn't mention that the industry had progressed that far. I'd be interested in seeing that, actually.
Oh yes. The industry is quite impressive. He himself has done much over the past 1.5 to 2 years to completely reinvigorate this land, and we are appreciative of it, to be sure.
And before I arrived, and I do apologize for the company that I've kept. That was not my intention with the war going on in the Northwest. Choosing a party to lead me out here, my choices were slim. There was a bridge crewed by spiders. Is that a recent development?
I mean, I suppose recent enough. Ever since the Burgenmeister took charge. It wasn't always that way, of course.
Are they also related to this new technology?
I can't imagine. I'm not sure. You have to ask the Burgenmeister. They answer to him.
Unfortunately, I did not have time to. That's all. Thank you.
Yes. He takes you to a very fine inn that actually looks pretty. It looks surprisingly high end. Sort of beautiful carved woodwork on the front, well-oiled wood, a warmth that just comes from it. You can hear music playing from inside, orange light that glows from the slightly frosted windows. You can see above it there is a well-crafted wrought iron sign that merely says the Icicle Inn.
I will thank Derek for his escort. I will again apologize for the missteps of my companions, and I'm gonna tip him. I'm gonna give him a gold coin.
He takes it, looking at it. Not bad for a simple walk.
Well, if I hadn't... Is Derek, is he just rabble enlisted, or is he a
Higher end.
Okay, I said if it wasn't for my mistaken choice in companions, some of yours would still be alive. This is the least that I can do.
He nods his head grimly. You best be getting inside, it's gonna be cold tonight.
Thank you.
Alright. Write down. Okie dokie. Meanwhile, far away in the distant land of just outside the city of Vishtat, the rest of the group, having had a rather unfortunate run-in with the guards that caused a little bit of trouble for you, along with the spider allies. You all through, well, I guess at this point, all, however many the fuck you there are, 7 people, run with the 4 hunters led by Jack Crowder. He moves with swiftness, barely looking back, not really even caring if you're able to keep up or not. Go ahead and give me athletics checks.
Oh my gosh.
Athletics, okay.
I got 19.
Alright.
Colin.
That's an 8. I'm very athletic.
I'd like to use the natural one on Karakwa so he flips and dies.
No!
But I also get an 8, so.
I got a 14.
I got
Or a
a
13, rather.
Caster's falling off the cliff, Cody.
My fucking
I can't
foundry just like
believe it.
isn't really working.
Have you tried sucking off your computer?
Yeah.
Gotta open the disk tray, like the disk tray, and put your dick in it and close it.
I don't have a disk tray actually.
I'm glad Cody put one in mine.
Who
I've
doesn't
never
want-
used it, but it's there in case I
Yeah,
ever need it.
It costs like $15. There's really no reason to not have a DVD tray.
I mean, I bought a pre-built and I just didn't have one. I was like, I don't really care.
Cody built my computer. Now I need you to build me a car.
Oh my god, I know nothing about cars.
Wow, so we don't have very athletic people here, except for Henley.
Yep.
Are you talking about in game or
Vento's
us as
athletic.
people?
Listen, I shoot magic, not fucking do the pole vault or long jump at the
I have a
Olympic Stadium.
+5 athletics if someone has a higher
Look,
score
if
than
this
that.
was
They were both
acrobatics, I'd be in there.
I'd
I
pull
have
both
athletics
of them
too.
and
Unfortunately,
bullet
it's
talk.
unfortunately it's just brute force to make your way through this relatively high. There are quite high banks of snow.
I am rather athletic.
I was even gonna give Henley advantage, but he doesn't.
Henley does in fact lift.
With advantage, I would have a 28.
I got 13. Not the best in the
Henley,
world.
you find yourself in a little bit of an unusual position. Crowder and the rest of the group are quickly moving forward, easily traversing this terrain that they know so well, paying very little attention to you, surprisingly, as the rest of your group falls behind. As I don't think anybody else passed the athletics DC, and it was a group check.
Not even Bruce.
Bruce got a 13.
Nope.
No?
I rolled a 13.
No.
That's shocking. He's my fellow strong boy.
And they start.
We like all rolled 13.
And as the sun begins to dip in the sky, they start
13 for
falling
everybody.
behind.
Yeah, you took a corner, man. I couldn't follow you.
My bad.
Soon, however, do you, Henley, do you keep up with the front group, or do you fall behind with the rest of them?
No, I would probably keep with my party. Would probably keep up with them.
Soon you find that the Crowder and his small band are out of sight, having disappeared now into the rapidly darkening night. Or no, it's not really nighttime, evening.
Can I try to track them?
Yes. You can give me a survival check.
Colin, I would like to use my perception to try and point out tracks in the snow.
All right, he can have advantage on.
A 9. I rolled a 2 and a 3.
Can I have him? Can I give him triple advantage?
Use the portent dice. Use the portent dice.
Give
The
him,
only way.
give him a 1.
Give him a 7.
Oh, I thought we had a 1.
You do have a
Yeah,
1.
and it would be a 7.
I have a
It'd
plus
be-
6.
It would be 7, 8, and 9.
There, as you surge forward, having stayed behind with the group, you don't see the tracks at all, and you find yourself actually kind of cast adrift in the woods now. They rush
Fantastic.
forward. Your group fell
Oh
behind.
no, he's a Tom Hanks movie.
Can I let out the bird call?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, I did the bird call that he did for me earlier.
Do it. Do the bird call.
Caw-caw!
Good job.
And you wait.
Ow.
You wait in silence. I'm gonna see how long I can stay silent. Alright, I'm done being silent.
Okay,
But
I'm glad.
everyone roll a perception check for me.
Where was...
24.
Look at the... What is happening?
We're rolling well.
I mean, I rolled a 10.
It's still
That's
the
not
complete...
how oh well.
It's still the complete opposite of what just happened. Oh,
I got
never
an
mind.
8.
He broke the trend.
I'm sorry. Venta is not a perceptive fellow.
Cody's not here, so roll for him, Phil.
He gets the 1. Sorry.
Ah, shit.
Damn.
Damn these lizard eyes.
Hmm. I think generally I'm just a general group check. As you all sort of huddle together looking, waiting, you see movement in the trees, and very quickly you see it is not the hunted party that's returned, at least not yet. Looks like almost like a hulking form that at first you think might be just a small mound of snow, but it's moving towards you pretty rapidly at this point, as you see, as it gets closer, you can see the glittering black of two large eyes, the glittering wet nose as a polar bear lets out a roar and charges at you.
Can I try to I want to use a nature check, see if I can like calm down before it gets to us. Or animal handling, either way.
It'd be animal handling.
Nielsen, as in Nielsen.
Oh
data
my god, an
set.
8.
It does little. Your attempts to calm it do little. Assuage its rage as it charges forward. I will say, y'all are separate. Damn. Go ahead and roll an initiative.
Alright, I wasted my one good roll.
Look up.
Hey,
Polar bear.
13.
Yeah,
Not
there's
the worst.
import. Just need a token. Alright.
He's a bear.
Well, it's a random encounter,
have to be
so
my
I didn't
friend.
really have a map up for it. It's gonna be all, once again, in the mind.
Jeez, isn't this like our first actual random encounter in this?
You've had some. I haven't told you they're random encounters, but you've had random encounters before.
Okay.
The
I
large...
was just like, man, while we just try to go wherever we try to go, we haven't really...
You've had random encounters,
Seen
but I
anybody
haven't,
until
I haven't
difficult
said
place.
it's a random encounter.
Oh, okay. Was the Storm Giant one?
A lot of your flying stuff has been random encounters.
Ah, okay.
Polar bear charges towards you, rapidly closing the distance. Reed, it's probably about 30 feet away from you.
Alright, well, in that case, I've got plenty of movement speed. I'm actually gonna get behind it, and then I'm gonna kick it. That is a 21.
It does hit.
It's a 9, and then I will... You know what, I'm not gonna waste my... Oh, whoops. That is a 17, but it rolls the wrong damage die.
Yeah, I mean, it's not wearing a lot of armor. However, you see, as you hit it, it's
I
almost
hope it's
like
not
you're,
wearing a lot of armor.
it's almost like you're hitting just rock hard steel. It's so covered in sinewed muscle.
Alright, so that'll be another 10.
Right.
And then for a bonus action, we'll just do an extra unarmed strike. And I can't roll it like that. I need to roll it separately because that doesn't roll the right damage die anymore. And that one's a 14.
14 points damage.
So yeah, I did
Again.
9, 10, and 14.
As you're punching into him, it's like hitting a stone wall.
This is one sturdy polar bear.
All right.
And that's the end of my turn.
Have you seen a polar bear, Lou?
Yeah.
Arun,
The Rams are choking.
it is roughly 30 feet away.
Yeah, is this just a regular scary polar bear con, or does he look scared, or... Does it look like he's fighting for his
You
life?
can use
Has his
a
family been killed?
bonus action to make a perhaps a nature check or an animal handling check.
15.
It is a normal bear, not one of the ethereal bears or anything like that. Angry, clearly. It is definitely a male bear, so it's not defending its young. But you do know male bears, and you're from this region, so you know that male bears can be very, very territorial.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna... Let's see how far away this works. God, getting in melee range seems like a really bad idea, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna run up to the bear, put on the Baba Yaga mask, and I'm gonna do Fey Presence. And I'm gonna try to spook him with a DC 19 Wisdom save.
Their wisdom, not good.
Not good.
6.
Alright, I'm basically just trying to scare it back into the woods because it's a dumb wild animal that we don't need to kill for no reason.
Alright. It seems spookied.
Excellent. I just want to see if it starts running away after that. Or not. Okay, well.
It's got a spooky face on it.
Okay, frightened does not prevent him from not attacking me, right?
It does not prevent him, but as if he can see you, he has disadvantage. Also, he's probably going to try to run away from you.
Okay. Yep, I'm just going to ooga booga at it.
Ooga booga. It goes to Bruce.
That's me.
I'm gonna flank it. I'm gonna put a clone right there. Right beside him.
My God, they're gonna box him in when he's terrified.
Yeah, I was gonna try and like grapple one side with Bruce, and then grapple the other side with little Bruce. But now that he's afraid, I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm just gonna hold an action, and if the bear does anything other than run, I'm gonna attack him.
That'll work.
And that'll be my turn.
You said if it does anything other than attack?
Yeah, anything other than
run.
attacking.
Other than
Yeah.
run? Alright.
Oh, yeah, right. Right, run. Anything other than run.
Well, it is. Go ahead and do that because it starts off turning and letting out just an awful, just a growl towards Bruce and Aruna.
Alright. I'll go with sword. 25 to hit.
25 will hit.
Actually, do I get double because I held the attack action? Do I get a second attack?
You're holding an attack, so
Okay, so you only get one. Okay, that makes sense.
I'll let
So
you
that-
go. I'll let you use what you can do with an attack action.
Okay. So I do get something. Alright. And another 25. For a total of 25 slashing damage.
Alright, I need
Damn right, Rick.
Bruce and Aruna to make a wisdom saving throw.
That's a crit.
Right. Y'all are not affected by his growl, but he does act. After the growl, he is going to run the fuck away.
Good. See you, buddy. I'll let the dumb bear go.
Are you just gonna let him go?
I'm gonna let him go. I don't know if anybody else wants to.
Yeah, you can go.
All right.
Yeah, I think we should get him off.
He is going to say the fear is good enough to at least run him off into the night for now. because I don't think he's gonna want to come back. That seems good enough to have him gone. Even once the magical fear ends, he's just gonna keep running. Meanwhile, vampires attack you.
Winter vampires.
Winter
30 days of
vampires.
night.
Alright.
It's a good move.
You can see every
vampire.
you can every now and then see that the bear does remain at the edge of your vision. As it doesn't charge in, still terrified. It merely stalks along the outskirts watching you. But luckily, you don't have to wait too long with it watching you, trying to work up the courage to attack you again before the party returns. Jack Crowder is saying, I thought you were a hunter, Zweisenkin. What, you can't keep up?
They couldn't keep up. I was keeping up with you just fine.
Well, maybe, you know what they say about the weak in this place, you leave them to die.
Well, these are my friends, and if you need my help, then you're clearly the weak ones, and I can leave you to die.
Fucking got him.
Try not to lag behind. I'd like to get there before midnight.
Okay.
3/4 pace, my friends. Let's not have to come back for them again. And Crowder turns, and they don't run off quite as fast. They make sure to generally keep a slightly slower pace so you don't have troubles keeping up with it. And you travel well into the night as the cold descends all around you. Aruna, you look up and see that the moon itself is largely blacked out. And as it rises high into the air, you can see eventually you're actually standing once again at the edge of the river. Farther up it, but still the same sort of rocky cliffs that descend down to the banks of this river. For a moment it seems like there's really nowhere else to go, but they hoist themselves over the edge and drop down onto a small outcropping that has just a tiny cleft in it that they all squeeze through. Doing so, you find yourself having sort of pressed on all sides by rock, forced to shimmy forward, except for you, Reed. It's not that bad. Like a hobbit hole.
That's what he calls his butthole.
It's true. Cora's gonna
Well,
explore.
is it because it's tiny and covered in earth matter?
She's gonna be called Cora the Explorer because she's exploring his hobbit hole. It'll happen one day.
What a sentence.
Soon, the cold gives way to actually the warmth of the earth, and soon, something slightly more than that. You emerge into a surprisingly large cavern. You can see that it has been roughly set up with beds, a small triage station like an infirmary. There is what appears to be at the far end, a hearth. It's got a chimney made of what appears to be mud and wood and stone that rises up to the ceiling, passing probably above ground, because obviously you're not going to have a fire lit underground without a way to, vent it. Or maybe you will and you all die.
They're just stupid.
You all die of carbon monoxide poisoning, the ultimate enemy. Roll initiative against it.
No, I let it take
Big
me.
bad evil gas.
You can see there's actually quite a few people here. Maybe 3 dozen hunters. It looks like many of them from the Crowder family, but there's a few families here that you recognize, Henley. You're certainly not alone on your own mission. However, you don't see very many In terms of your own family, unfortunately.
Well, don't I know they're all imprisoned?
Yeah, but not your you don't know if your entire family, like all of it's imprisoned.
Oh, okay. Well, then I asked them why
Yeah, I
no
would
one
say
else was there.
the family clans can be quite extensive and large.
Yeah, I asked him why they aren't all here.
Got caught. Most of us tried to lay pretty low, but not them.
Does that mean like they're imprisoned or they were killed or?
Most of them imprisoned, a couple killed.
Oh, who's killed?
Do you have a list of your family that you can send me?
I only had my my dad, my mom, and my sister made.
I didn't want to kill
So-
them. I didn't want to kill them.
I mean, it doesn't. Colin, if you want to kill them, that's fine. You know,
Oh.
shit happens.
I mostly just
You
I
can kill
only
my
had
family.
plans for your sister to be married to him and your parents to be taken in jail.
I mean, I'm sure I have other family members and stuff like that, but whatever you need to do, it doesn't matter.
Your cousin.
Roll like a d12 for dead relatives.
There's a
I don't
table
know
with
how that would
that
even
in
work.
Taka's.
No.
How many relatives you had?
I don't know. I just didn't think about it because it wasn't pertinent
Yeah.
information at the time.
Your cousin Dorian killed, unfortunately. I think you had an aunt that was trying to help, but well, she got in too deep with the guards and trying to. Let's just say it was a unhappy affair for her. There's a couple of people from your family that are around here, not directly related to you, married into other families and things like that, but there's a couple Zweisenkins, even if they are a little bit diluted by marrying into other bloodlines. You know how we all interbreed and have that gay orgy once a year?
What? When did that happen?
It's the night of shooting stars. But guess what? The shooting ain't from the stars.
Man, I'm out doing hunting stuff. I don't know that.
Oh, skeet, 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 skeet. I wish I could say there was more than just this 3 dozen hunters, but there's really not too much. A handful, maybe a score more, out on hunt. Not that there's even that much to hunt anymore. The spiders, those beasts, they've all taken the game in the nearby region. At least the easiest of it to capture. All to feed that damn wretched town that won't look out for itself.
Yeah, he's made it really not very friendly over there.
All for reminiscing given the circumstance, but could we,
He's
at some point figure out about what we're doing?
He's planning to construct a Coldwood Disney.
Oh my
It's
God.
a Small World ride is already going up.
I've heard that's really racist.
Yes, well, he doesn't really care. Did you know he believes that the Jews own a disproportionate amount of the world's wealth and have a space laser?
Anyways, we should probably do something about all this stuff.
Yeah, Alicole's like nodding, like yes. The Mantis Queen has shown me this.
He's a real sack of turds. We'll have everyone here in, well, 2 days, basically. I don't know how much good it will do, though. We're fighters, to be sure, but there's so few of us, it feels like. What can we, 50, 60 men, and women, do against an entire city?
I mean, we really only gotta take out Bergenworth.
That is
Or
true, but we have to,
Meister, whichever
we have
was
to
the
get
last
close to him.
name. I mean, Is there no one in the town that will help us?
I'm sure there's people in the town that would help
Like
him,
I'm
but
saying,
it's certainly not
if we
the
start
guards.
a revolt, will everyone rise against us, or will they kind of say, you know, let's do it?
That's hard to say, afraid. I imagine there's some that would gladly side with us, but there's many that are, if not too afraid, they don't even want to. There are, as I said, quite a few people that have gotten rich and powerful off of the Burgenmeister's decrees. And that money and power extends to people beneath them as well.
That's a shame.
As for
Well,
how to get in close, I myself am not sure. He mostly sticks to his estate and only lets his own personal most trusted guards guard it. He does meet with people, but usually it's one-on-one, and he has like his guards right there. I don't imagine this entire group or anyone more than just a pair of people could get in to see him at all.
I mean, we have a guy on the inside. I presume that's what he's doing.
Well,
He didn't exactly tell us his plan.
that could be useful, no doubt. We'd have to get in touch with him, however.
I mean, do you have anyone that can go in and do that?
We all point to the magic earrings that we have.
You are out of range. You are out of range of the magic earrings. Magic earrings only have a mile long distance, and you're well outside a mile.
Well,
I do kind of love the image of Aruna walking around going, Ito, come in. Ito, can you hear me now? Ito.
Since I just got it randomly. Well, I mean, Henley, I can just use sending and, get a hold of him.
Aruna sighs and says, I guess I have to cast sending.
Yeah, unless he's like in a lead-lined room with anti-magic field or something. It should work.
You're going through a tunnel.
We've got people. We do have some people on the inside that we can send messages to.
Okay, or my friend could do sending. Either way.
Well, that works. You have access to
Probably
magic.
safer.
That is the wise choice.
I mean, don't ask me to explain how it works, but yeah, we do.
Very well. Send your message, and we'll see if we can coordinate amongst each other.
I turn to the group and I'm like, do you think Ito's smart enough to be able to get to the gates by himself and open the gate for us or anything?
No. No.
Out of
Silence
character.
except for Karakwa.
Out of character. You've got some high hopes there, lad.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I can just use seeming and we can all pretend to be guards and go in or something, but
I mean, that'll work too. However, you guys are the smart ones.
Yeah, I was gonna say between the two monks, the bug man, the lizard,
We're
and
basically a walking B&E,
and the weird
let's be
costume
honest.
guy, we should be able to come up with a plan. But no one's giving input, so I guess me and Henley will just sit here and twiddle our thumbs.
I could just go in. The actual point of action is probably something that people hear.
Nick, you
an idea of.
Nick, you're real hard to hear, buddy.
Was basically just saying that the people here are probably the ones that would have more of an idea of what would need to be done. I can just walk into town and probably not be seen.
I think the reality is pretty much everyone here can walk into town. Probably.
Not me.
Except Henley.
Yeah, except for
I've got disadvantage from the plate, so.
I mean, you don't have to
like,
stealth. You can literally walk into it.
But what about all the guards that we beat the shit out of Fallen?
Yeah.
That seems pretty nuts.
Yeah.
On board.
You don't know if
They killed them all.
I say you don't know if they're going to be able to recognize you or not.
Then they
They knocked them out. Oh wait.
we didn't. They showed up and killed them.
Oh. thought they only killed the one that we didn't knock out already.
They killed all of them.
Ah.
12 less guards for us to deal with.
I
Yeah,
mean,
Okay, I mean, a fair point. We don't even really, I guess, need the man on the inside if we can just all, get inside.
We just need Henley to disguise himself.
that's yeah. You know,
You need
I'm
to
only
not be Weizenkin.
I'm only like 6'2" and covered in a boar's
I
pelt
mean,
with a bunch of spikes.
Henley, I can turn
So
you
you
into
guys get these magic. Okay.
I mean,
yeah, I was gonna say I can turn you into turtle for an hour and carry you, or something stupid.
have you guys never seen Mulan? We've seen her put him in a dress and geisha makeup.
Henley is basically just giant Yao.
You also have pieces. You also have guard tabards.
That's true. We did take those.
Yeah,
All right.
I mean, I think it'd be pretty easy just first thing in the morning, and then we have to figure out
Well,
what
he said
these
wait
guys are
2
gonna
days. Do we need to wait 2 days or?
Well, I mean, I've met him.
I do want to ask that. I remember that I was also pressuring for 2 days. What was the 2 days specifically?
The time it takes to gather the rest of the people that are willing to go.
That's right. Okay.
Another score or so of hunters.
I mean, they aren't unlimited, but seeing as I've met him and I'll wave at our new friend, I can still, send him messages if we just go to town.
Yeah. Whatever you guys think will work. I mean, I'll just charge in and fight them if I have to.
I mean, honestly, maybe the best thing we can hope for is they can run distraction for most of the guard, and we can go directly for him.
Oh yeah, that works. Because I think if we take him out, that they'll crumble.
Engage cricket sounds from everyone else.
I mean, if he's the one that convinced them that easily, then yeah, probably.
Cut the head off the snake.
I just don't know what we do after that.
Break all the shit.
Well, I mean, generally speaking, every other plan we have normally involves just busting shit up, and then we pick up the pieces afterwards. So,
Yeah, I just don't know how to restabilize the place before we have to leave.
Well, who was in charge before?
People who are now dead.
Did they have a second in command?
The other people in the family who are dead.
I see the issue.
Are we the group other than Connor aware that the sister is married to him?
I don't know.
I don't think so. No.
That
I
has
think
not been-
Connor's the only one.
They know. I think they told me.
If I remember correctly, someone mentioned that your family is being held. I don't think they mentioned a formalized hostage.
Well, no, because one of the guards mentioned that like his sister was married off to one of them, and then he said, "Okay, you can kill that one."
I do vaguely recall that.
Well, regardless,
I believe I was informed.
if that's the case, then
What the fuck? Somebody getting arrested?
My balls are getting arrested for trespassing in your mouth.
yeah, okay.
if we're aware of the sister's current predicament, then I mean it might not be too hard to convince them that she could be in charge, considering she's in that adjacent position anyway. I don't know how your people view a female leader here, but
It doesn't matter.
then I don't.
But she's not in charge at all. She's a hostage. That doesn't make her in charge.
I don't know. They dug themselves in this hole. They can figure it out.
I don't know. It sounds like it's an usurpation. I don't know if that's really digging a hole. At least from how I understand it.
Joke's on the
Well-
Burgenmeister. You think he's holding her hostage. She's actually holding him hostage.
All right.
He is the
So,
puppet
is he the
master.
chastity
You're stuck
cage?
in here with me.
It's true. Men actually have no power.
Okay, let's just put it like this: we go to the town tomorrow. We get info and see if people, are down for whatever he's thrown out there. See what the word on the street about the Zwizikins are, etc., etc. We do some espionage. We relay
Start the
back to our
revolution.
friend. We relay back to our friend what we want, and then we go from there. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. That works.
Yeah, and then maybe think about
I like it.
bringing your family at some point too, because I'm sure they have a bone to pick.
I would hope so at this point.
Yeah, I would also hope so.
Does that
All right,
work
I'm
with
going to
them,
bed.
or-
Bye, everybody.
All right. Good night, Aruna.
You'll
Dude,
find more cheer in a graveyard.
Do, do, does the leadership in this resistance have any input?
All right.
Yeah, who could we nominate among them to take over when we take the Burgermeister out?
Well, I understand that we're all working here together, but the Crowder family has long led this resistance, and we would be more than happy to take up the mantleship of leadership and lead us into an era of renewed old ways.
Alternatively, forgive me if I'm getting this wrong, but Henley, you mentioned that the family that had the biggest, what was it, like the biggest catch
Yeah.
on that particular night, maybe you guys could do another one.
It's
Just
you
not
can't.
not in the same way, but like hold a medial contest until the next one, just to tide over. Not a spiritual beast, just the biggest game brought down.
That seems rather difficult, seeing what they've done to the forest recently. But
Perhaps we could
I
be-
understand your point. I
We
don't
just
know how
saw a
practical
polar
that
bear.
is.
Yeah,
Yeah, and that
perhaps it could be the one who actually brings home game.
I mean, if they don't bring
Someone
home
who-
any game, then they don't get
Yeah.
the thing.
It also depends on whether or not the society still values that.
also technically it's chosen by in a way you're chosen by Uller, so there's a religious aspect to it as well.
Oh, who are
It-
there people? I'm asking the leader of the resistance here too.
Jack
Are there
Crowder.
Jack? Are there people here that were nominated in the previous one still alive that would be able to compete again in like a?
Well, I suppose so, yeah. There's a few families here, and I imagine some of the... If things didn't work out with the Burgenmeister, I imagine other families would fall into line. There's plenty that are going along with it just because they don't want to stick their neck out.
So that's like something along those lines would be entirely possible and like at least semi-agreeable to your people. Then. Yes.
Were you asking me or him?
Technically both of you.
What were you saying? Sorry, I was typing.
This is
point.
a temporary stopgap.
Yeah, it's not a
Perhaps.
permanent. How long until your next?
Next
actual-
comet.
Is it just random?
No, it's when the comet comes. So it's what, every 10 years,
It's
Colin?
every 10 years. It's another.
Yeah.
It's still another. It's still a few years away.
So it's an orbiting comet, just to confirm. Like it has an established orbit. It is a known astrological event.
Yes, you'll find that most comets are.
Well, sure, but like we have comets now that have passed once in 100 years, and they're not going to come back for another 7,000. But this one is a very narrow orbit.
Yes, this one's every 10 years.
So I mean, if there's a few years left in the gap, then I'm sure that or maybe like a council, a group of you from each of the families.
Democracy!
I mean,
My people don't work that way. They kind of just know, and there is always someone that is just forcibly in charge.
We'd have to
Not
talk to
the same.
everybody and see what they want to do, because if that doesn't work for the people, especially because they'd have different opinions at this point of what they want society to look like, I'm sure.
Well, I mean, all of that can be decided, I guess, when
Yeah, that's what I'm
This
saying. After we get rid of him,
Burgermeister is gone.
after we get rid of him, we're gonna have to.
We have to
discuss-
overthrow him, and then we seize the means of production.
And then the
Yeah,
sharks will
that.
come.
Is his name that way because he has Asperger's?
Asperger Meister.
Tommy's face!
It would have to be something that is discussed at length once the Burgenmeister is taken care of. I think one step at a time is the wise way to view it.
I think that if someone kills him and just seizes his power, that would just be removing one tyrant and replacing it with another in people's eyes.
I agree with that, at least.
One step at a time. This one can die, and then you guys can figure it out later.
Okay. Well, maybe not necessarily kill, like Henley just said, replacing one with another. I mean, we could imprison him. And if he gets judged to be executed by the majority of people, he gets executed. Yeah? Maybe?
I mean, we
Going-
did
Going
exile.
on the way the resistance handled the guards, I feel like keeping him alive is
Yeah, we're just adding extra
Pointless.
steps.
It's true. Theoretically, you could manually masturbate him like a horse, then inseminate someone and raise that child as the next leader. It's up to you.
It
Yeah,
could
the
be
capital.
Karakla. Karakla can carry the baby.
What a fucking
Excellent. The capital is frozen over, and Gen is dead, wondering where we are, and we're over here playing
And
like.
Ito's jacking off
You're
some
over here
fucking-
jacking off some 60-year-old man like, it's gonna work this time!
Oh my god, it's perfect.
Wait, no one
Yeah.
told me Karakla wasn't a female.
We need someone to change this picture, this mistakes into miracles, except it's Karakwa.
You're gonna inseminate Karaku's pussy.
Oh,
True.
You know what? I think this is too much for Reed. He's going back to the monastery. You all have a great life.
Yeah... It's one step at a time. One step at a time,
So Backburner inseminating Karakla with the baby of a 60-year-old human man.
We'll put that one. We'll table that for now.
Through
point-
magic,
The
anything
point
possible.
is, the LA Rams were choking, but they didn't choke enough. That's what matters.
Yup.
All right,
points
so
is still a win.
27 to 3 to a 30 to 27.
well,
So-
because the Rams can't choke anywhere near as hard as Tom Brady chokes on his son's tongue.
It's true.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ, Tim Barty.
all right, so we'll take a nap. We go to town tomorrow. Figure out what we're gonna do. Cool.
Pretty
Good
much.
discussion, guys.
Pretty much.
Tomorrow we plan.
That's the role-playing aspect, Tom. It's a role-playing game.
Well, what I've determined is we just know we have to kill the guy. We haven't really accomplished anything else.
You've determined.
I feel like the accomplishment of knowing that
I gotta
It's
be honest,
probably
I
not
think you're making
agreeable
more
to-
progress than the CIA.
That's true.
You at least know who you have to remove.
But
So hear me
regardless,
out.
We don't.
Yeah, but we're gonna just have we're gonna have an Iran where we're gonna remove the wrong person, put the wrong person in power, and then go to war with them anyways.
It's called politics, baby.
So hear me out. I put contingency fireball on a cigar, like Fidel Castro with the CIA's exploding C4
Holy
cigars.
shit.
We
This
trick
is
him
the
into
life.
smoking it, and it kills him.
When
You
do we?
actually do that?
When do we?
Probably.
I mean, vaguely, kind of.
Rick, how much oil would you say this place has?
Wait till you,
What the fuck?
wait till you find out about the Burgenmeister's sons, Uday and Kusei.
Well, I mean, we have a lot of animal fat because that's how we keep our lanterns going because we hunt. So maybe a lot.
Not a lot of beeswax here.
I can't. I love the smell of a beef candle being lit.
I'm all about the fucking Bay of Pigs campaign. Let's fucking go.
Beef tallow smells
Alright.
like jerky in this house.
It.
I'm I'm taking a long
Ooh.
rest. See you guys later.
A beef tallow candle does not smell like jerky.
All right. You decide to rest. You can figure it out tomorrow. You can get in contact with Ito, who is currently at the Icicle Inn. Ito,
Before. Okay.
you walk out. Are you before you walk into the inn that you're standing outside of?
No, I would go. I was gonna. I thought you were going into the next day for me as well. Go ahead.
Outside the Icicle Inn, you open the door and immediately a warmth washes over you as there's a large roaring fire and a central hearth. There's raucous laughter as you turn around and see that there is a group of people gathered around the Druid Hedwig. The Goliath dominating one corner of the room as he lifts his hands up in the air, holding open small seed pods as he uses Druid craft to open them, as he says, "Pretty good! Pretty good!"
Interesting.
A rather...
For my sanity, did we leave him on the airship, or was he walking with us still?
he was walking with you.
Alright, so just walking to town. Okay.
So okay. I'm gonna make my way towards the innkeeper, not necessarily like trying to avoid his sight, but I also don't want to just walk up to him. Hedwig, not the innkeeper. I'm looking for the innkeeper.
You can see there is what appears to be a rather bulky, somewhat greasy-haired dwarf, covered in a completely stained white apron, has spatters and specks of brown and green all over it. Just the type of person you'd want running in, because you know he's very hands-on. As you can see, he pours large tankards of some sort of ale of his own personal brand, making it very clear that he made it himself as he lifts them up, saying, "Ah! I made it myself! Not more than 10 winters ago! Finest ale you're gonna find around here!"
One of those sounds fantastic. I'm not sure if the Lord, and then the Burgenmeister, because I guess he's not the Lord, sent word ahead. I'm to have a room. If not, I can buy my own. I'll pull out some silver.
Oh, of course, the Burgenmeister. I can send word to ask him about covering it if you want to. He didn't send word to us specifically, but... No, if you're a guest of his...
It's not a problem. If you have a room available, I will happily pay my own way, and we don't have to worry about him any further. I believe he was going to bed when I left.
Of course we've got a room available. We've always got a room available.
Does he say that like there's no business?
No, he looks like as he leans and says, "We've always got a room available if you've got the right amount of money, of course."
Okay. And how much for a meal as well, or at least tonight?
I could give you a night and a meal for a gold piece.
Okay. And I'll pull out a gold piece and I'll hand it over. I was like, does that room have a desk?
It's got a small table you could probably use as a desk. Not many people needing a desk in particular here. Most people aren't very literate.
I appreciate it.
Hard to write an animal sound on paper.
That is true.
The deer's hump. You know, it's not the right sound. Well, we'll have the room ready for you. It's gonna be room number 6.
All right. I appreciate it, and if I could have that meal brought up to me, that'd be fantastic.
Of course. A fine venison stew. Nice fresh loaf of bread.
Thank you. And I will head upstairs.
Ito and horse number 2.
All right.
If I could, I want to like try and step out of sight en route to that room if at all possible, and send a message to Hedwig of like, bro, what the fuck are you doing?
All right. So you send a message to Hedrick of what are you doing?
Yeah.
All right. You only hear a message that says, "Haven't been in many cities before. Haven't ever been in a city, actually."
Has he? Oh fuck, he's gone native. Oh no. Noted. And I will go the rest of the way to my room. You said he was druid crafting?
He's using druidcraft. Yes, he's making seed pods bloom. Druids here, or the druids, have never really been able to. They've always avoided larger cities, and this is the. Yeah, I mean, there's large-ish cities, but the druids usually don't spend a lot of time in them.
Interesting. Okay.
He's gone city folk.
Now,
He's gonna get his Goliath dick sucked in a back alley behind a man that doesn't have any teeth and needs crack.
why are you talking about me like that, Colin? That's rude.
Connor, don't talk about our time at Burger King. But if you don't have anything else to say to Hedwig, you'll just go up to your room.
Yeah, I mean he looks busy. I don't wanna like interrupt that. But I will. I'm not gonna like shrink away and hide. I kind of want to make myself noticed by him at least as I make my way upstairs. Or I can even say it in the message, like, "Well, I'm gonna be up here."
All right. Well, in that case, he doesn't join you immediately, but after maybe a half an hour, 45 minutes, you hear a heavy-handed knock on your door.
Okay. Before he shows up, I would be like searching that room. I'd be doing like detect magic and stuff. Anything I can for like bugs, anything like that. Anything that seems out of place, like I'm being listened to or something like that.
Roll a perception check.
And I will burn a detect magic. I don't know why it made me drop the 8 week. Perception check? Is that what you said?
Yeah, and the detect magic will work. But you can give me a perception and you can use detect magic too.
18.
You don't sense any magical prying per se, but as you sort of stand there at looking out over the room as you scan, you can see there is a large window, and you see 3 of these faintly ethereal snowy owls just looking through the window at you.
Owls?
Yes, they are small owls.
And there's 3 of them.
Yes.
Okay. Have I ever seen an owl?
Maybe. Travel around.
Tommy had an owl. This is.
No, I meant, but in like triplicate. Have I ever seen owls sit in a trio together?
Not necessarily.
Would I acknowledge that that's weird as fuck?
There's just several owls that are watching you through the window, and they are the same sort of faintly ethereal owls as the spiders and the other shit.
I was gonna add on to that. Do I see any spiders or anything that like any
You
spider
have not
web?
seen any of that.
Okay. Okay. Does my room have curtains?
They do, yes.
Okay, I would. I would think about drawing them shut, but I would leave them open, and I would open the door for Hedwig.
You don't have to wait long before Hedwig appears. His massive, bulky Goliath form taking up the frame. I didn't know cities could be so fun. You know, I'm not a young man, but I've always tended towards the forest.
I would advise you to keep your eye on your singular goal. But also, and I will kind of like stand to the side and I will show him over my shoulder the 3 owls looking through the window and say, but also mind what you say when you're in a place that you're unfamiliar with.
I was like, Hedwig comes and says, "There's a man that said I have a pretty mouth. What does that mean, Ito?"
Oh boy. It means he needs you to go buy him KFC snackers.
Yo, I love KFC Buffalo Snackers. But he, as soon as you mentioned owls, he says, "Owls in the city usually don't hang out here."
No.
But what about the 1,000 fireflies? Can you explain that?
Thank you. Thank you. I was getting ready to pull it up.
Those aren't. He looks at them and says, "Those aren't native owls, to be sure."
I didn't think so. So perhaps we should watch what we say.
Perhaps wise.
I'll describe the spell sending, like, communicating to fellows. Do you have that capability, Hedwig? I don't know. Do druids get that at all? Maybe he's an arcane druid.
He's actually a wizard that thinks he's a druid.
He's actually a wizard. He just thinks he's.
Oh my god!
He's a wizard.
He just
Scout.
thinks he's a druid.
We don't have.
They don't have.
We don't
sending.
have sending.
Okay. Well, how did you even get into the village?
What do you mean? I walked through the gate.
Oh, I didn't notice that you came in after me. Or were with me, for that matter. I heard that the others that escorted us here fell in on the wrong side of the guards. It's a cat! Look at the cat!
Yeah, it's a kitty cat.
He is upset.
Is that Bert or Gandalf?
Bert.
Bert is upset. But, because I feel the others that escorted us here got into some bother. Have the guards mentioned anything of that to you? If you're associated with that, perhaps we shouldn't be talking to one another.
I can't say that I have.
Is, please remind me, is Hedwig from this town?
No.
No, he's not. He's, like, I'm sorry. What I meant was, is he associated in any way, or is he just one of the outsiders that came in with us?
He is an outsider. This town's
He's Crashing Tide, isn't he?
He's Crashing Tide.
Yeah.
Druid.
That's right. Okay, sorry. Gang affiliations. Have you eaten?
Well, there was a little bit of to be had below deck, below on the common room. I ate some various berries and things like that I brought with me.
Were you offered anything?
No.
Okay. Has my meal arrived?
It has not arrived, or it has arrived, yeah.
Okay. Can I tell us the quality of this food, or is it more horse meat?
No, he said it's specifically venison stew.
Okay, but he was speaking truthfully.
Yes, as far as you can tell, yeah.
it's very odd. I'm concerned about the. I feel like this place might be teetering on the brink of starvation.
Joke's on you. He does have a way to send a message. He casts Skywrite.
Nice and subtle.
He puts full last names and everything, so there's a big Henley's Wisekin in the sky with Ito's full name.
Incoming coup. We are ready.
Oh, dear lord.
Intelligence score of like fucking 5.
Okay. I obviously like things are awkward here with the transition of power and that kind of thing, but I'm concerned about the involvement of the spiders. That's kind of the only thing I haven't quite figured out.
It is weird. It's not just spiders. I mean, he sort of vaguely motions towards the owls a little bit. It's quite a few animals, from what we can tell, that are of unusual origin.
How local is Crashing Tide?
They span throughout the entirety of the Goldwood.
Okay, but like, he would be more mindful of the cultures and norms, even if he's an outsider of the city, he would have an idea of what's going on.
I mean, more than you.
Yeah. I'm gonna have the entire party kill me.
Of course.
Can I look through the star scope at the owls?
Yes. Go for it.
I'm afraid.
Roll
It's just a
roll
straight
wisdom
20.
saving throw.
$27.
Alright, so you don't go crazy.
Woo!
Alright, roll a d20.
$50.
You pull out the star scope. And the star scope itself, if you remember correctly, shows you things that happen within the passage of time, essentially. They don't necessarily show you different planar things, and when you look through the star scope...
Yeah, I guess realistically I'm just looking through the window.
Yeah. Obviously it looks over a vast expanse. You can vaguely make out the shapes of the buildings themselves, but you see they are covered just in frost. Just huge, just ice completely. They resemble more like buildings made of ice. They're so caked in ice, with snow building up on them. And as you're looking over this, you can see what appears to be a black ethereal boar that darts from basically building or between buildings, charging between alleyways, and you see what appears to be a very impressive looking man, ethereal, with a huge horned helm, stag antlers, riding atop a great steed that chases it.
But the buildings that I am seeing in the real world are present, but they're frosted over.
Yes.
Okay. Interesting. Okay.
But that is not all necessarily things that will happen. They are things that can happen.
Might. Yeah, might. Okay.
Dun dun dun. or things that will happen if you don't change shit from what's going on right now.
Sure. It's because it's meant to be the current
The current
path,
future,
right?
if nothing else changes.
Got it. Okay.
But I have to pee. So I'll be right back. If you want to, the night passes and you can send messages to each other and y'all can talk about it.
That
Oh my
requires
God.
Tommy to send me a sending.
I gotta pee though.
No.
Why
I
not?
refuse. I hate you.
Fair.
Based.
Understandable. Have a nice day.
Have met with resistance forces. Coming up with plan. Returning to town tomorrow. We'll keep in contact. There you go.
And do I get a reply at all or no?
25-word response, baby.
I get a 25-word response.
Which I assume mine was under 25, but that's basically it. Enor? Dun 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 dun. Alright, let's try to examine the contents of Colin's trash can.
I see a sun drop.
Yeah, there's at least a sun drop.
That's
No,
a
is it-
Two sun
McDonald's
drops.
bag. That's a McDonald's bag. I know that much.
That could be a Taco Bell bag.
Oh well, yeah, I do see the purple. That could be.
Oh, it's hard
It's
to
most
tell.
likely
It's awfully
Taco Bell
pixely.
knowing Colin.
He
I
did
thought-
just
I
say
thought
he
he-
had Taco Bell.
Yeah, he like swore off Taco Bell though. I thought.
No, he just said he just had it this morning when I saw
Sometimes,
him.
sometimes people relapse. Okay.
Okay. So I get a 25-word response.
Yeah,
Is Max dead? I haven't heard him say anything for like an hour.
That's not
I-
abnormal.
Alright, Max, listen. Back when we were talking to the Resistance guys, I was like, or the coughing sick guy, got any input, and you didn't respond, so I also
Yeah.
assumed you were dead.
I mean,
Matt-
coughing sick guy is not ideas guy. Coughing
Max,
sick guy.
Max
is coughing
found
sick
another root beer and it killed him.
Guy. No.
Hey, Colin, all I did was tell Ito that we met with some Resistance guys. We're coming up with a plan. We'll see him in town tomorrow, blah, blah. There you go.
All right.
So,
I will
Trying to think of a
start.
response.
I will start with
penis.
the dungeon master sucks cocks and dicks.
Promise.
I will start. I will start with Imperial Envoy's initial report. Stabilities questionable. Familial hostage. Infrastructure damaged but recovering. Little arcane presence. And questionable food.
Don't forget the
Henley.
food part. That's important.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, if they rely on game and they're slaughtering horses, shit is bad.
hey, Henley. Hey, Henley. Hey, Henley. Hey, Henley.
Is
Oh my god, I had to come back from across my house. What?
I check Henley's pulse to make sure he didn't die in his sleep.
We're trying to fucking eat.
Nobody told us.
It just got here.
It literally just got here.
Give us half a fucking second. What?
You didn't even say you got up to get the food.
We didn't even go through the
That's
You
because
guys
I'm
were
on my
talking
phone.
when I got up.
Oh my
Look at
god.
these jokers eating while I just
Oh my God,
subsist
what?
on beer.
That's
Basic-
not true.
Basically, I'm just relaying what Ito was talking about, and that your sister's probably the captive, would be the putting 2 and 2 together. So he has your sister.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's my
sister.
sister, and they're eating horse because they don't have enough game. Probably
Yeah.
because of spiders and them over hunting for some stupid
Hey.
reason.
Hey, Henley.
Yeah.
Why were you just ignoring me?
What do you mean?
You boy.
Well, I was trying to sleep because I'm supposed to get an 8-hour-long rest, but you were bothering.
Yeah, I take my 4-hour meditation. I'm just pounding Henley in the head with like a rock to get him up.
Henley.
Wait,
You awake? You awake?
I'm
Are
also
you...
socially
oh, good, I'm glad
awkward.
you're
and I
awake.
You're also socially awkward, and I don't know how girls work, so I assume you're trying to sleep with me, so I ignore you to hope you'll go away.
God, you and me should have an entire like thing where we just try to talk to people by ourselves
no
because we're
simp.
both socially awkward.
Henley.
Henley,
Nap time.
Henley.
He lays awake at night hoping that Adelaide never comes to his
You
room.
eating an onion, Lou?
Is he?
It does look like an onion.
That's very green.
Okay, now it looks green, and it looked white. It looked
It
pure
looked
white. It was
Just glad
almost
that he
as
could
white
hear
as
me from
skin.
across the house.
You should eat a bell
That's the
pepper.
best part.
I had my headphones on my head.
You should eat a bell
Oh,
pepper
okay.
like Chairman Kaga.
Wait, you have wireless headphones, but you can't talk through them? Do you have
He has
a-
push to talk like not a barbarian, Connor.
Oh,
Yeah, he's push to
Yeah.
talk for a fucking person.
Joke's on you, I don't use push to talk at all.
Same.
You're not a normal fucking person.
Oh, look at this person judging, trying to kink shame me about how I use my Discord settings.
I don't use push to talk at this point because I don't give a fuck. Fuck Connor.
Kink shaming is my kink.
That's not true.
I use push to talk. I don't know what's with the house.
They can hear
I mean,
you.
I was going for the Vine that I got that from, but okay.
I put on push talk and pulled it up.
Anyway, yeah, possible starvation. They have the system. I'm an Imperial envoy. No magic users.
Amazing.
And then more Fey not Fey. Phase? I don't know.
They're from
Phase out.
I asked if they were Fey and they weren't.
They're not Fae.
The spirit that beast things.
Yeah, spirit beast thing. Owls.
The spectral.
The Wild Hunt runoff.
The rejects from the Wild Hunt.
They aren't really rejects.
I'm measuring my penis. It's this big.
Oh no, Connor. Ryan's coming out into the kitchen to yell at you now.
What did I do?
Huh?
What do you do? Exist?
Tell Ryan I just watched American Horror Story Season 4. See how he likes. See what he says about it.
Colin says he just watched American Horror Story Season 4. What do you think about it?
Which one was 4?
Circus.
Yeah.
Circus?
One day I'll watch that show.
I want to hear Ryan hate it so much.
You're better off not
It's what?
watching it, Connor.
Ryan says it's okay.
That's not true. All I've ever heard him say is it's awful.
This is all you've ever heard you say is it's awful.
No, I hate season 5.
Ryan says he hates season 5.
I think Season 5 is better than Season 4.
I like the
That's
second
6.
one.
Or,
I only
no,
watched
Ryan says he hates Rowan.
I'll be slowly dying on the
This
inside.
is the dumbest conversation ever.
We're waiting for them to finish.
Even
We're
dumber
waiting
than
for
the
them to.
pre-game conversation.
We're waiting for them to finish eating whatever
Yes.
they're eating. All right. The dawn rises on the next day. The sun rising up over the edge of the tree line, causing the ice and snow to glitter. Overnight, it looks
it a
like a
pretty glit?
bit of snow has built up on the crevice that leads into the cave, but it's quickly cleared by what appears to be a handful of hunters that have returned from various different families, each of them ready to serve in the resistance, led by Jack Crowder and Henley Zweisenkind. Meanwhile,
That's me.
back in town, the beautiful pristine snow is marred by dingy sort of gray ash that sort of comes from the sky. It was not a particularly restful night. There was always an orange glow that seemed to permeate from within the city itself, and the faint smell of coal smoke in the air. Throughout the night, the owls never left. They watched you intently, their heads creepily staring at you through the windows, their ears turned every now and then to see if they can hear anything that was going on.
I stare back.
They're into it. They don't react to you staring back, they just watch.
Having seen a familiar before, can I tell if that's the case with these? I know they're not, but
Essentially, no. They are not
No.
familiars.
just trying to isolate the variable.
Bright and early, the greasy-haired dwarven bartender has a breakfast that is, well, maybe today we wouldn't view it as very good, but on this day, back in those days, it's not too bad. It looks like fat skimmings from the stew from the night before that are spread on lumps of bread. So basically, you take the
Yum.
congealed fat off the top and you spread it on bread. They used to eat that. I think people still do.
Gross. That sounds like well, death, to be honest.
You say gross, but people ate that.
That feels like a meal that would need to be included in your obituary.
Well, you know
Because
what?
it's clearly a contributing factor.
You know what, Connor? Maybe we're gonna find out. I'm gonna kill you.
Good.
With kindness.
Better.
So, do you... I imagine, Jack, or Crowder is going to begin organizing scouts. A perimeter to keeping a wide perimeter around the city to keep an eye on things. Perhaps, should the opportunity arise, pick off a guard or two. Lessen the numbers, essentially. As he meets with several of the older, more experienced hunters and trackers and has them take a partner along with them to just keep along the outskirts of the city, just to watch. He checks, he asks, or in the morning he says, "So you got a man inside, huh? Well, can't hurt to talk to him. If you're looking to infiltrate, you can always dress up in a disguise, or we could provide a pretty sufficient distraction if you're worried about not being able to just walk in."
You're talking to me, right?
Yes.
I don't know. Is it easy for Aruna to disguise me with magic, or is it easier for
Probably.
me with a tabard? I don't know what your spell slots look like.
Well, we just took a long rest. I have seeming, and we still have like a day after that to get ready, so it should be fine.
I thought we were going in I thought we were going in the next day.
So he said 2 days, right?
2 days.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
And I thought we were gonna go to the city, figure out what we're gonna do, and then call them and let them know what's going on.
Yeah, that's why I was confused. I thought it was the next day we were going. It doesn't matter. Whatever you want to do. Either way, it works. Well, I suppose the magical transformation is more foolproof because they can't just be like, "Hey, I know you." What animals? We're not near the bridge.
We did fight spiders when we fought the guards too.
Yeah, but but they were in that area. They happened to be around there. But I mean, you would think that Ida would have seen that and told us.
What did I?
No, you didn't see anything. Is the thing, Connor? Because there weren't spiders, were there?
I mentioned more fake or more whatever creatures.
Yeah, but I thought that was spyglass, and that was the future.
No, I said in my message to Aruna that there were more weird creatures, but no spiders that I could see.
Yeah, well, the thing is, if the spiders could see through it, it's also possible that those guys could see through it. So maybe the... Okay, so we could wear the tabards, dress up as guards, make a quick in. Henley, I could transform temporarily to get him in.
Well, if we're just going in for reconnaissance, and there's a chance of me being caught, I probably shouldn't go with you for that. But when we go to infiltrate fully, then yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
The rest of the party, are we infiltrating now to stay there, or are we scouting?
Honestly, I'd say scout first. We still have a day to prep, right? Because it's only been 1 day. We need 2.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'd say scout a day, learn as much as we can, and then we infiltrate when we have a full party.
We have a full party. It's just that other people.
Yeah, we're waiting for the recruits. Well, not recruits, but
I'd say
additional,
scout before we
additional rebels.
scout before we act is probably the best way to go.
Alright, so here's my thought process on the scouting. We can be there as backup, like the rest of us, but I think Alakul can stealth. I can send my Al out, and Karakwa can turn into some type of creature and scout out stuff.
I mean, it would be kind of helpful to have some kind of commandos, like, already on the inside of the town when we do decide to attack.
Yeah, we got Ito.
Do we want just Ito?
Do we want Ito?
Just Ito.
Probably not.
I mean,
but...
he's a little indisposed. He's in, like, the fucking... Well, no, you're in the inn right now, aren't you? Connor.
I did not catch that question.
You're in the inn right now, right? Not like
I, technically speaking, did not indicate where I am.
I know,
Yes.
but... Okay.
But I am in the inn. Now, like, that being said, Aruna can keep casting Sending to me.
And when we get within a mile, we can use the earrings anyway.
Yeah.
They don't have a teleportation circle, do they?
I asked them if they know how
weird.
they know
Weird,
how far out they scout.
They call them
the guards.
Yeah.
Not very.
All right, so that means we could probably sit within a mile of the village and be fine.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, is the more sneaky people and creatures can, do the scouting immediately, such as Alakul, animal form Karakwa, and then Ito can walk around also.
Reed's kind of stealthy too, isn't
Hey,
Well,
goodbye,
I am a
Lucky.
halfling. I'm quite naturally hidden.
I think he more meant your dexterity is
he? Yeah.
a thing.
Yeah, okay, just whoever wants to go in and do the scouting, I will just stay outside since I can communicate pretty easily, and then we'll
Yeah,
figure
I'm
it out.
kind of, stick out like a sore thumb.
Yeah, I mean, between me, Henley, Bruce, and Venta, we can probably take care of a few guards if they end up seeing us in the woods or something.
Yep. Oh, I'm totally gonna find like the biggest boulder I can, so I can, if need be, just chuck it at the fucking wall and punch a hole through it.
Beaver is Andre the Giant.
I like that idea a bunch. Okay. Alright, let's go Team Scout. Yeah, woo!
Team scout.
Team Scat.
Hmm.
Bert's poofy, I'll be back!
What did he say?
I have no clue.
I think he said birds. Birds pooping.
That's what I heard.
Beaker.
I
And that
gotta
is apparently quite the spectacle if he had to leave.
Beaker.
Beaker.
What?
Beaker. Woohoo! He can hear it. He can feel it.
Yeah.
I
My
don't care.
glass is
All,
getting beaten.
all members of the posse can feel the vibrations of a whoop whoop.
I'm
All right.
back.
So you're scouting. Who all is on the scouting party?
I am, but I'm definitely like just going away. And I do make it clear, like I'm not asking people. I'm just looking around. I'm just going.
Man
I'm not going
against
to
the
talk
world.
about.
Yeah, the intent being, I think we can have, like, one person go around talking to aerial scouts, and then Alakul just sneaking around doing his shit. As long as we're within a mile of each other, I can cast Sending, it's fine.
Alright, Alec Cool's doing shit. Aruna's doing shit.
I'm the radio control center. That's what I am.
Who else is doing shit?
I'm looking for an improvised siege weapon, aka large boulder.
Right, so
Oh. Okay.
Alec Cool.
Yeah.
We got Runa. We got Bruce.
Yeah. So, Colin, everybody's going. Just certain people are going into this.
I need
Which
to know
would
who's-
be-
I need to know who's going to the city.
I guess Alakul, Karakwa, Animal, Karakwa to be more sneaky. Reed, do you want to go?
Well, it seems like we've got quite a few already on the inside.
Well, you can do the talking to people with Ito thing. So you could meet up with the Ito and figure that out, and then Alakul can be sneaking around, unless Alakul wants to meet up with the Ito.
I do not.
Nobody
Okay.
wants to do that.
But if you don't have to. Just saying, man.
All right, so then there are people that are still outside to protect the mage just in
Confident
case.
dog's eating your shit.
Yep. Kenley's hanging out with me. Vent is hanging
Yeah,
out with
I guess
me,
I
and so
can-
is Bruce.
Yep.
Go
Yeah.
inside to see if I can meet up with Connor. With Ito.
Okay.
What is that, Nick? I don't like it. Get rid of it.
What's he doing?
What the hell is that?
All right.
That's gotta be your druid shape.
You travel your way
Yeah,
back.
I like the second one.
Yeah. You travel your way back towards the city of Wilderstadt, making your way through the dense snow drifts. Getting within a mile of the city, I guess Alec Cool, Barakwa, and Reed break away
Ma'am.
to infiltrate in their own ways.
Form a bucket of water.
Easy enough for the druids.
Nick, I think that the ape
That's a
dog
great
is better
start.
than the dog ape.
Alakul. Alakul.
I mean, I still got a 16.
Alakul fucking slips on a banana peel, goes careening headfirst into the guard, stands up and goes, "How you do, fellow guard?"
I imagine if Alec Cool
Hola,
wanted to,
Como estas?
he could just like turn into a bird and fly inside.
Don't mind me. I'm just a normal person.
I cannot turn into a bird.
Shit.
Yet. You can't turn into a bird yet.
That's that
Actually-
substitute teacher. That's
Yeah,
that substitute
no, I
teacher
can't.
language talking.
See, I can turn him into a bird, but he's gonna be really.
I
Do you have to be?
I'm
vampire to turn
imagining-
into a bat?
I'm imagining a bird that has like mandibles, like when druids shape in WoW, and it's
Oh,
absolutely
like how the
horrifying.
troll forms have tusks.
How
Truly the
horrifying.
stuff of nightmares.
I turn into a mouse and poop myself through.
Yeah.
All right.
This is the greatest.
How are
stealth
you-
if
mission
it will give me if it will give me advantage, I turn into like a what kind of bug? Are there?
Turn into a bat.
I can't. I literally can't. I literally cannot turn into.
You cannot
something
turn into a
like-
flying movement creature.
Turn into a
Yeah,
mouse.
it-
You could turn into a fish and be carried in the bucket of water.
I will turn
Ooh,
into
the fucking Wonder Twins?
I
Yeah,
will turn
Cody
into
already made that joke.
Turn into a
a
rat.
fucking.
Bruh.
I'll turn into a chunky rat.
That'll work.
This is a sizable town that has somewhat of an industrial.
There are
Correct? Yeah.
the rats all over the place, so
We don't have
I'll
rats
turn
here, I decided.
I'll turn into a cat.
that'll work too. All right. Roll against your animal
All right,
instinct
I
to
ride.
eat
I
Alec
ride
Cool.
the cat as a rat.
The guard. The guards.
Wasn't that in the Tale of
The
Despero?
guards see it, but they're just really impressed. They're like, damn.
Wow, that's so cool.
They say, oh my god, if rats and cats can get along, maybe we can all get along.
Why can't we be friends?
The real guards were
Why
the
can't
friends we made along the
be
way.
friends?
If you turn into an animal, you don't have to roll to stealth. You can just make your way in.
That's fair. I'm making my
so I
way
gotta roll
down. I'm making my way downtown, Colin.
All right, it's easy enough for you. Reed, and also, if you're not trying to sneak in, you also don't have to roll stealth, really.
Oh, okay.
If you're just walking up to the gate, it's like.
I mean, from my understanding from the other day, they're not worried about me. Just
Henley.
Henley.
In case you have to sneak or something, though, I will give Reed one of the extra tabards we have, in case he needs to, blend in.
Yes, let me hide that amongst my body.
Pretty easy for
Alec
Cool and Karakwa to turn into an animal and make their way in. One taking the form of a very large black rat and the other one a cat. Reed, you walk up to the gate and you can see once again it is guarded by 2 of the guards. One is the same as the previous day, the other completely different. The guard that remains the same is the no-nonsense guard. They stand there, and you can see you have to wait for a moment as there is another person entering the city as they ask them a couple of questions before stepping aside to let them in. Seeing you approach, one of them raises an eyebrow and says, "Long way from home, Master Halfling. Don't see many of your kind here."
Well, indeed, of course, but we do travel quite far and wide.
Well,
That's rude. He could just be a short human.
Could be.
Oh my god, he's just a baby human.
Lou's actually been a 6-year-old human male this whole time.
They look
He's
you
got a
over.
mad right hook.
Do you have any strange or exotic goods to report? Anything that you're planning to sell within the city? There is a tax on all goods sold.
I'm not a merchant, no. I've just come bearing goodwill from my monastery.
Yes, you don't seem to have much of a pack on you. If you got anything to sell, it certainly can't be very large.
The size of a fucking chapstick cap, baby.
Nick, I expect that from Max, not from you.
You're free to go in, just find your P's and Q's and keep an eye out. There's been some trouble within the city as of late. A few guards went missing the other day.
Oh, that's never good.
Missing.
Of course, I will keep my eyes open. And Reed will bow as he heads in.
Oh, shame! Doesn't give a shit, leaves.
They motion for you to go through and they move to the next guy.
Oh, yes, fuck the police. Goodbye.
Entering the city itself, you can see that it is quite... probably not much to your liking. Cramped. Dingy. Squat. It stinks of like...
have any place that's nice and serene.
Yeah, it basically does it. It stinks of coal ash and human waste. It's cold. It's miserable here. You need to burn it to the ground.
But I can only breathe lightning.
That's okay. You'll find something
You know,
to set
lightning
on
can
fire.
start a fire.
It's true.
Just find one of those tallow candles.
What are we doing to...
That was a fireball sound.
What are we doing? What's everyone's goal? Alec, Cool, you 3 are in. The 3 of you got in. It wasn't too hard, for the most part.
My goal is to overthrow the government.
That's true.
Commendable.
More short-term goal of the people within the city meeting up scouting.
Well, you know what? Hearing about Henley's sister, I think one of my objectives would be to try to figure out where she's being held.
Is she
Or
hot?
kept.
That's the real question.
Colin
I'm
Clark,
try and
a
find
memoir.
a jail.
Is she hot?
Okay. Find the jail. That's a good one. Is everyone meeting up with Ito?
I'll try to find Ito.
Okay.
Okay.
Because Karak was one of the few people that can actually stand his presence for more than 5 minutes.
Barely.
Karak has
That's-
brain damage.
Commendable.
Only one problem is going to be 6 minutes.
Rocco, 6 more minutes of that could give you autism if
It's
you're not
true.
careful.
I like trains.
Oh no!
You learn, Ito, that...
Ito is not there.
He's not even there.
Is he gone?
Yeah,
Ito's fucking dead.
Alright,
I explicitly said like 3 times someone should meet him, and then he leaves. Without...
Karak,
Oh, there he is.
Here,
I heard my name.
Hero's back.
Ito, you learned that Karak was looking to meet up with you, probably through, I guess, central sending from Aruna. You've all got earpieces now, so you're all within a mile.
Oh my god.
Fucking like that guy with all the radios and the fucking guys with the radio backpacks
Me-
again and wind talkers with
Me
fucking
as a
Nicolas Cage.
cat with an earpiece in my ear, talking to Ito. Meow, 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 meow.
Understood. Thank you.
I remember this commercial. All right, but
Oh, dogs are whining. Give me a minute. Good.
Alec, cool. You are looking for a. You're basically looking for probably where whatever holding cells or jail or dungeon or whatever they've got is. So you sort of scamper around city. How do you want to go about doing that?
Me seeing the prison?
Alec Cool's looking for the prison.
Oh, okay, okay. Sorry.
I'm gonna try and steer my way towards, I guess. I'd assume there wouldn't be too many other people around there, so I'm gonna try and find my way like to a place that's like guarded, but not got a lot of like just general folk walking around.
Yeah, there's alleys and things like that. Once they're within the walls themselves, it's for the most part pretty safe. And it's easy to find like a little alleyway where there's nobody walking around. Nothing but refuse bins and things like that.
I guess I will. I'm gonna try and just. I'm just gonna try and make a perception check to see if I can find like a place that is being guarded, like a building that has like a higher presence of guards. It isn't like obviously like a manor house or something.
Okay.
$34.
You
Jesus.
stand and you wait for a little while, trying to keep an eye on things. Hoping to find some sort of inroads as to how you can go about seeking out this dungeon. You do have to wait for a little while, however, maybe an hour or so that you're peeking out from this alleyway. However, you come across what appears to be a rather unscrupulous-looking man. Hair lank and black, greasy and pressed against the sides of a sallow, sunken face. There's a large coin purse at his side that jiggles and clangs with the sound of gold clacking against each other. His eyes glitter with sort of ill intent as he doesn't notice you, but has a wide, toothy grin on his face, revealing basically a smile that resembles the crenellations of a castle. He pats the bag. I'm describing Connor. It's Connor I've described. He pats the large gold purse and says, Alright, alright. Got this one. With very little with very easily. But you hear what it sounds like two guards that turn the corner and say, There he is! Get the fuck back here! And just take off running after him as he begins sprinting down your alleyway.
I want to try and trip him. Or,
Alright.
startle him.
Alright, make a attack roll.
Just like a generic, like,
Strength-based
attack roll, like an unarmed.
Yep, unarmed attack.
Okay, I don't know if the rat would have any bonuses. 25.
Right. You basically rush out and tangle yourself in his legs as he just falls face forward. The gold purse clattering out in front of him, just covering the dingy, dark alleyway with glittering gold pieces. As he tries to scramble to his feet and the two guards are on him immediately. Their arms roughly grabbing him, their hands wrapped around his arms. They pull him up, saying, "Ah, you thought you could get away with it, you little shit. We don't appreciate theft in this town." And one of them sort of draws a dagger and puts his throat into his throat and says, "If I had my way, I'd kill you right here and right now. But there are protocols to be had. So you'll get your day in court, but there's no reason that you can't rot in a cell until that day, you shit." And they begin dragging him away, the dagger pressed against his back.
Alright, I tail them.
You make your way through the streets, following this man. Every now and then he puts up a struggle, but that struggle is quickly quelled as the tip of the dagger buries itself into his side, eventually drawing a little bit of blood that begins to stain an already dingy, dull shirt. He's covered in mud, horse shit, and blood. And whenever they get to a building, you can see it's very close to the center of town, just outside the Burgenmeister's mansion. Well, the walls of the Burgenmeister's mansion. It's slightly separate from the rest. And it's a much bigger building than a lot of the other ones. Not taller, but it has a larger, footprint. Quite wide.
Yeah.
As before they take him inside, they lift up a bucket filled with icy cold water and just dump it on him and say, "That's for the stink!" And then they drag him inside. Still shivering from the cold, you have managed to slide beneath the door jamb, sort of crunching your tiny rat body down small enough to be in a door jamb, because that's how rats do. And you find yourself in what appears to be, it's not a barracks, but it is a guard station of some sort. As you can see, there are several guards, maybe a dozen of them, looking a little bit bored, slightly listless as they all sit around a large table. There's a fire that burns in a nearby hearth, and you can see the man, the criminal, sort of tries to ease his way towards it, hoping that it will combat the cold that now bites down into his very bones, but the two guards drag him along. As one of them goes to a man who is very clearly in charge. His uniform is pristine, despite the fact that the others are a little bit dingy. He's a little bit older and a little bit heavier than the rest. While the others are sitting at the nearby table, he kind of stands at attention, a look of vigilance on his face as the two guards drag the man to him, say, "One more for the cells. Any of them open?" The guy just says, "Of course none of them are open. Just throw them in the cells with someone else." And they do so. They take the ring of keys from the large man, drag him through a nearby doorway that is darkened. Following them in, you can see it is a prison cell of some sort, or a prison system of some sort. It descends slightly, being largely buried underground. The weight of the city perilously above it. You can see there are huge wrought iron bars that line the walls. Cells that are roughly 20 feet by 20 feet, each of them crammed full of various people. He goes to the nearest cell, already full, this 20 foot by 20 foot square, maybe having 15 or 16 people in already, and he opens the door and just shoves it in and say, "Don't worry, you'll get your day in court, lad. Of course, I can't guarantee it's not anytime soon, and hopefully the people in here won't kill you. Eat you. Sometimes we do forget to feed them, and, well, starvation can be a funny thing." And they turn and they laugh. They high-five each other and leave. Haha, it's fun being evil.
At least they
Fucking excellent.
If the pay is right.
I'm so proud of them.
The keys jangle on their belt as you can see they pass through the doorway.
Okay. How is it? Just like one hallway of cells?
It's a hallway of cells. It looks like there are 6 of these 20 foot by 20 foot cells, and most of them are cram-packed full. There's
Jesus.
easily, maybe it ranges between 10 to 20 people per cell.
I want to try and look for somebody that looks like him. That may, look like a relative.
There's one that's ugly and looks like a bitch. It must be Henley's friends.
Oh, that's your father.
That's
Wow.
your father. It looks like a man. No, that's his mother.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Roll an investigation check.
Investigation. Oof.
It's a
Got
little bit more than a perception check for that. That's
Yeah,
not just
yeah, I
noticing them.
figured.
That's discerning familiar lines and things. It's just they're all really most of them are grimy. All of them are thin, wearing baggy clothes. Looks like most of them have not. Looks like they haven't been bathed in a while. You just can't.
Oh
tell.
no, they're all family.
It's all just a mass of people to you. And you can't even using your rat smelling senses. It just smells like dirt and waste and.
Did I notice if Henley had a family crest or something that he, a traditional marking or something he had?
I don't know if Henley does.
I was kind of directed at.
I don't think so.
Okay, didn't know. All right. I want to look to see who's the most not injured, but emaciated. I want to see who's been here the longest, if that makes sense. I guess I'll try and start with the back and see if there's a group of people that are particularly emaciated and treated like super dog shit.
Just from what you can see, I mean, it's all roughly the same. It doesn't look like they have VIP prisoners here. They're all just
Yeah, I
mixed
just
in
will
and
see.
thrown
I
in.
was thinking that they might have been treating worse for whatever reason.
It doesn't seem like there's anyone that's been treated worse.
Okay.
There are people that are.
Can I get a general?
Yeah.
Can I get a general head count?
Total. A general head count. There's between. There's 6 cells, 10 to 20 per. So you're looking at between 60 and 120 people. Not somewhere in the middle.
So maybe
100
80,
people here, 80 to 100.
80, 100. Okay. And I guess other than that, I'm gonna I do know that this portion is underground, from what I can tell, right?
Yep, it's sunken down into the ground.
I want to see if there's any weak structure points, or there's some kind of way we could get in without going through the front door, if that makes sense.
This roll a perception check. This one.
30.
You don't see any particular places, but you can hear the sound of footfalls above you. Not just footfalls on stone, it sounds like footfalls on wood. Sounds like, and in various places, it looks like this is actually buried below buildings. There have been buildings that have been constructed over this. And it can't be very thick. If you got into one of these buildings, it would not be hard at all to manage to just get down. There can't be more than 6 inches to maybe a foot of stone and dirt. Hard packed dirt and stone. It's mostly stone though.
Alright, then I guess after that, I'm just gonna try and get out of here and try and figure out about, like, which buildings that is and, like, have an idea.
I will say, with that, you can tell it wouldn't even be hard to collapse it. You can see the beams that are holding this up are dangerously warped in some places.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, I'll just try and get an idea of where this is in relation to the buildings above. And I guess that'll probably be about it for me.
Alright. Ito. A message. Someone's meeting you.
Okay.
You direct, I suppose it was what, Karakwa that was meeting you?
I was trying to find Ito.
Yes.
You're able to direct him to the Icicle Inn nearby the Burgenmeister's mansion. And Karak, when you arrive, you are surprised to find that Hedwig is there, sitting nearby with Ito. Both of them, well, Hedwig is mostly just enjoying the bread. He's eschewed rubbing the animal fat on it.
Ah.
Fair.
I guess that explains where he went.
He almost immediately sees you and kind of stands bolt upright.
I'm guessing he immediately recognizes me.
Yeah.
Well, I guess subtlety is not his key. I'll kind of motion. I'll try to cat motion to. Oh, I guess I got the earpiece, right? How does the earpiece work in terms of communication? Do you speak into it or do you mentally speak into it?
You have to whisper into it.
I'm a fucking cat. I can't do that. God damn it.
Have I seen Karakwa turn into a cat before? Is this like would I recognize the cat?
It seems like Hedwig has. At least recognize there's something weird about the cat.
Okay. We're in the common room, right?
Yes, you're in a common room. The common room of the Icicle Inn. It is currently, you know, mid-morning. Technically pretty late in the morning for people to be eating, so it's largely empty.
If Hedwig gives me the indicator that that is one of my people, I am going to kind of like start petting. I'll start petting the cat, and I will say very quietly that there's next to no arcane presence here except for the weird phase spirit creatures. They are not exactly a reconnaissance network, but I think he's trying to improvise.
I'll nod my head and say,
scratch your left ear if you understand.
Remember, you have to say this while pretending to go, hey, kitty kitty. Pss, 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 pss.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes, that is the moral of the Emperor's New Clothes.
why not? I tried to motion in a way to like as a follow me way outside of the common route into like the
Yo,
rooms
what the
of the
fuck? Did
like,
that cat just motion? You see that cat? Ma! Ma, look at that cat!
That cat's making bedroom eyes. What's
To the
going on?
window! To the
No,
wall!
Tommy, I would turn into a Vaporeon for that.
Jesus.
Dislike.
Kind of motion as a to try to out of the common room into where the rooms of the end would be. Like outside of the common eating area, the living area, to where I'm guessing it's like a set up like most ends where it's just like a hallway of rooms.
Yeah, you've still got access to your room.
Well, that's
Okay,
what I'm trying to motion to move to.
I'll head upstairs to the hallway, except I'm gonna stay in front of my closed door and I'll keep like petting the cat, kind of like indicating I just found this cat in the hallway, because I don't want to let the owls see, and I will tell them is like as prosperous as these people seem to think things are, I really don't think this guy has as hard a hold on this situation as he thinks he does. I can't decide if the spiders we met at the bridge are being used as pawns or if they're the ones in control. Also, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Also, has anybody considered the spiders and owls and things being like the spirit beasts, like the boar?
Yeah, we literally talked about it at the bridge.
Okay. I vaguely recall that. I just couldn't remember.
Yeah, I told Henley that the spiders called his boar their
Yeah,
brother.
That's right.
yeah, they
I wrote-
recognize the boar.
So you stopped outside the door, but you're not going in your room?
Yeah, I'm in the hallway.
Is there anyone around, Colin?
Not that you can see.
Can I like try to push into the door? I'm trying to. Sorry, it sounded like a dog was throwing up. I tried to indicate to Ida, let's go in here so we can talk. Like I'm trying to like going into the room so we can close it. What?
Sorry, I'm talking to Son.
I was saying what to Colin. What the fuck?
My vagina's on fire.
Have you seen a doctor?
The doctor has seen me.
Sounds like you need a wet ass P word.
Whap. Alright. Karakwa. Hedwig understands.
Thank God someone does.
He noticed you immediately. You stood out to him. Something about your nature just didn't quite seem right to him.
There's scales into that fur.
I've been found.
He steps in the side of the room. Goes to the bed and pushes it up and down.
Sorry, my kid was being argumentative.
Connor,
Hed-
argumentative.
Connor, Hedwig, and Karakwa's in cat form have stepped into the room.
Okay. Sure. Are the owls present?
You can see there is one owl present currently.
That's concerning. Okay, hold on. Because Cody asked about the earring. I can talk through the earring, but Cody can't respond because he's a cat.
Yes,
Correct.
Yes.
So I will continue to talk through the earring and say there used to be 3 of them, and now there's 2. Or I'm sorry, now there's 1.
I pick up what he's putting down. But if there's anything else that... Shit, I can't really explain to that. Without also transforming and making it obvious, I guess.
There's curtains. You can close them.
It's metagaming, but couldn't you guys set up a system of like 1 meow for yes, 2 meows for no?
I mean, I was kind of getting at that.
You didn't say there was curtains. Just close the curtains.
There are curtains. I'll imagine that the cat starts pawing at the curtains, and I will walk up and I will close them because it's cute.
They can. There's a possibility of hearing, but now you close the curtains and can't see.
Terrifying bone-crunching noises as this cat turns into Karakwa.
Hedwig says,
Your
"Oh
friend.
my
And I
God!
like
It's not a cat. It's actually another druid."
Yes, it is I, your ally and friend Karakwa, here to be subtle and sneaky inside this small tavern inn.
I recognize
Now
that you
that I
weren't
am
an
here,
actual cat.
Now that I'm here, we can quietly talk about our plan of subtlety and subterfuge.
So we're staging a coup to kill the Burgenmeister, right?
It's like every mission in Splinter Cell.
I call
They open the window, the curtains, and point out right there. That's where we're going to kill that man.
I call
Every mission in Splinter Cell.
I call Karaka of the earring and tell him to remember the basic BQC before he goes on.
He's too busy thinking about the basic WAP.
Snake! Snake!
I'm a lizard, not a snake. Thank you.
Lizard eater.
That doesn't have quite the same ring to it.
He's still in a dream, lizard eater.
Wow. Get fucked, Cody.
Why are you singing about Mayora?
That was pretty good.
Yeah, Cody's verse goes, he's covered in cream, lizard eater.
Are you an accounting machine, lizard eater? It's all Mayora wants.
Oh my god.
Ito, your Karakwa buddies there.
I will say, oh, damn. I was really certain that was a runa.
The fucking most hysterical part is I take on the stats of a cat, so I'd just be a dumbass cat wandering.
What do you mean? That clearly wasn't an...
Ito doesn't know that.
You couldn't sense the primal magics coming off it.
Right, what he said. Anyway, so do you guys have a plan? Like, we're probably giving away our position right now. I'm pretty sure they can hear it.
Go.
Is why I didn't want to come in here.
It's better this way. We can actually communicate with each other here.
I can talk louder than you and try to be a distraction.
Can you turn into something? What's predatory towards owls?
These nuts.
Hedwig takes a couple of steps back towards the window, stands upright. I met a traveler from an antique land who said, 2 vast and trunkless legs of stone stand in the desert. Near them on the sand, half sunk, a shattered visage lies, whose frown and wrinkled lip and sneer of cold could man tell that its sculptor well those passions read, which yet survive, stamped on these lifeless things.
Why are we reading Ozymandias?
You're fucking wasted on us, man!
He's standing there like trying to speak over you to let you talk.
Does he have a brain tumor?
Oh my god!
The problem is he does have a brain tumor, but whenever he tries to shrink down, the tumor doesn't shrink and it makes his animal head explode.
Jesus.
Oh, no.
Connor asked, what can you turn into the owls are afraid of?
He turned into William Shakespeare.
Ozymandias. What else can you do?
Oh my god.
What?
Colin,
I say? What did you?
my fucking
Wait,
gesture.
what did you say that was from, Cody? What was
I
it?
said he turned. I said he turned into Ozymandias.
Oh, you mean Ozymandias nuts?
Yeah, got him.
Always
Speak!
on
I like
brand.
how the second D's nuts joke, right after the one Nick made, makes Nick laugh.
Speak!
Nick just became a 1980s cartoon villain.
Hedwig's trying to cover up for you, since with the earpieces, all you have to do is whisper.
Alright, so I guess he's providing a distraction.
Basically,
Anyway,
he's what?
so did you guys kill a bunch of guards?
No, that was the rebels. Who
I'm
did
gonna
A
that.
bunch of
let
guards
you
were
know
killed
that as
in our
far as the
presence.
word is here, it was you guys.
Well, they can say what they want. We did not kill any. That one doesn't count that I killed. But
I did incinerate one of
The
them.
Rock was like, it was an accident, I swear.
it was an accident. He stood in front of a beam of sunlight. What can you do? I tried to get on the move.
We didn't kill them, but they did die while we were there.
Well, it happened so
I was fighting a
fast.
spider.
The Zwizikins killed them.
No, I didn't.
Wait,
No,
did
it
you
wasn't-
just pin this
your
on his
tribe.
imprisoned family?
That's not my tribe.
Oh, whatever. It's all the same. They're all a bunch of tribal people.
Karakwa
They're all the same.
confirmed racist. Karakwa confirmed
It's
racist.
just rednecks fighting each other.
The
at this
rebels
point.
led largely by Jack Crowder of the Crowder family.
The Halfoils, the McCoys, it's all the same, okay? Look.
I am offended.
You should be. That was the point. Anyway,
This is the first time Henley's ever been offended.
so I don't think.
I know you don't think.
I don't think this guy's hold on this land is as secure as he thinks it is. I just can't figure out how to destabilize it beyond food, but that takes way too long.
They already don't have a lot of food.
I mean, you're still talking weeks for that to actually bear fruit.
No, but that's clearly not working because they're already destabilized with food.
I mean,
So you need to do something else other than that.
Rick, you're also not here.
Connor, if we turn you into a bear, you can be a bear fruit.
It's true.
I think that was funnier than you intended. You shot for a 6 and accidentally hit an 11.
Alright. You've got your thing. Share.
Yeah, I just relay all the information. We share it all. We get on terms with each other of what Ito knows versus what we know in our plan, because I know Aruna can only send limited messages to and from Ito.
So I don't, full disclosure, I don't think this guy trusts me, but he's not in a dungeon that I know of.
Maybe he purposely did not put you in there. Maybe he saw through your foil.
I mean, to be fair, claiming to be an Imperial envoy at a minimum is not something most people would do. Because at the end of the day, if I am an Imperial envoy and he tries to execute me, there goes his rebellion.
Well, what say you? Should we give it more time? Should we let you try to do more subterfuge, or?
I've mentioned wanting to see the prison and wanting to see the usurpers, but he doesn't seem very inclined to put me in a room with them, understandably.
What can we do to make that happen, or to get one of us in there? What do you think?
He wants.
Colin,
he-
can
he
Druid speak
wants
Druidic
Henry.
while shapeshifted?
He wants me to assist him.
No.
No.
You only speak with whatever communication abilities your shapeshifted
Alright.
animal form has.
Cool. Right, you hear squeak, squeak, squeakum, squeak.
Oh no!
And
Terry
suddenly
Cratchit.
we're Emperor's New Groove.
I see I see the rat and I grab a boot and I try and crush it.
I'm literally not anywhere close to you.
Anyway,
There's a
I
different rat. Don't worry.
he wants me to help flush out Henley. I'm not entirely sure how he imagines I could accomplish that. But
Is he aware of? I guess he is not then, or maybe he is testing you on that then.
I think he's completely aware that we're together, and I don't think he bought my ruse at all.
Well, how much were you selling it for?
Enough.
Ito
To
sells
my
everything
knowledge,
for a
Tries to
single
Ito
sell
couldn't sell
something.
anything.
Yeah. So what say you then? Do we throw all subtlety to the wind? And
I mean, what's aboard the airship? Adelaide and just the crew? Is that it?
Yes.
pretty much, yeah.
I mean, you've got Lincoln, you've got M, you've got. It would be a little bit. You can get in touch with them, but it would have to be via a spell or a teleportation circle constructed to go back to the ship.
I'm guessing my tree is not ready.
It is
well-
not yet.
Damn.
Yeah, I meant to say when we did the planning stuff, and I also told Henley this, that if things went south, I can teleport us back to the ship or teleport his family back to the ship, whatever we need to do. So I can get back and forth, technically.
I did mention a priority was sending him magical assistance from the Empire.
Oh, yes, it is I, Fancy Pants, Imperial Court of Majesty.
That's actually exactly what I was thinking.
Okay. Well, you talk that out and let me
Only
know.
it's Aruna.
Well, the problem here is that if these usurpers are present, if the Zweisenkins are here, they're either not doing anything, or they don't see an end game for themselves. And I'm thinking that either everybody's drinking the Kool-Aid and they're all brainwashed, or the people here have just accepted the new masters. Neither of which is a good thing.
It is but mortal nature to seek out subservience in this way. So it may be they have just accepted this.
This doesn't feel like the kind of land that a technological upheaval can just happen.
Maybe not.
Like, this guy didn't impress me in that regard. I don't think he's that smart. I think something else is pulling strings here. He mentioned steam engines, or one of the guards mentioned steam engines in place of horses. I don't know if you want to try and find the source of that. Hang on, that sounds weird. He said steam engines, right? The guard did?
Yeah, engines of steam.
Okay. Kind of like the stuff we saw in Ertzig, I would assume.
Yes.
But meanwhile, I've been trying to find any pretense on Aruna's parentage to see if they're involved in this or what. Nothing. I think me being here can be helpful, but at this point, I'm not. It sucks to admit, but this feels like a lost cause.
Should we just try to... Should we pull back for now?
I mean, what is the rebellion trying to do? Do we know?
Remove him from powers in some way. Or you
No, but
asking
like,
Cody.
that's what I'm saying. Like, how? Did they just run out of ideas?
Well, I mean, I think he seems to have a stronger force because he has an entire town and they have a resistance. It's kind of like, you know, like in Star Wars, you know, they didn't really have a plan. They was like, yeah, we just, you know, defeat the Emperor and it'll work out.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like, what was in the works before we showed up? Do we know?
They
Or were
seem
they
to just
just
be struggling to survive for the most part, while they try to build a force.
I feel like this is more in line with the spiders and the steam engines. I think once that gets, I think that needs to be toppled. If they're going to target anything, that needs to be it. Like, the Bergenmeister can be dealt with. He's just a dude, as far as I can tell. The trick is going to be isolating the sister from that equation so that when you guys attack the steam engines and spider place, he doesn't just murder her.
Is there an easy way to get her out?
I don't know. She's I don't think she's all there right now. Colin, what?
Is that how we're getting her out? Ito, I have an idea on how to get her out. So,
This is
Did we
turning
look
out
into-
better than I expected.
what is?
I thought you'd just go in and kill some guy.
I mean,
Is
we
that off
could
the
murder
table?
Hobo.
Hey, Colin, no, he's half the
It's
It's
battle.
never not an option.
Look, for once we need to think about the consequences.
Oh no, this place is fucked.
Call the cyber police.
Well, I'm just saying, if we take out the leadership, what are the people gonna do?
Starve.
Hey, get me alone with the wife for a minute, and I can get her out of here.
Do we want to try
I mean,
posing Aruna as a
shit, I'm not
court
there.
mage? I don't know how well that will work, her being a moon elf from this region.
I've cast magic in front of these people, and they don't give a shit.
About
Magic. They don't seem phased by it at all. They're not restricting it. They don't seem concerned, as far as I can tell.
okay, but what does that have to do with having Aruna pose as a court mage?
I'm saying that, realistically speaking, I don't imagine they could see through the disguise. The issue is these all ethereal animal things. I think realistically that they need to be removed from the equation before anything else happens.
My brain is too small for all this. It is shriveled and tiny. I'm stupid.
It is getting to be 8:30.
Poor Hedwig's over there. He's talking at the top of his lungs.
Singing.
Waxing poetically.
And on the pedestal these words appear. My name is Ozymandias, King of Kings. Look on my works, ye mighty, and despair. There's
So
just an
I
owl
find
back
that-
there going, what the fuck?
I stopped from talking with you. I just kind of go, that was pretty nice.
I think the plan is one of you guys or multiple of you reads to us to do his thing, needs to actually get in there and figure out if in the castle if there's like something magic that he's using to summon these things, or if like there's like a greater threat within, if that makes sense. Because like you just got taken to like talk to him at dinner or in his throne room or some shit, as opposed to actually like seeing what's inside of the castle.
Yeah, he's not letting me near the prison, like the proper prison.
Yeah, and then Alec Cool actually saw the prison, where this is on the basis that we're all just going to use the fucking earrings to talk to each other anyway, so, you know.
Yeah, it's just
literally
once I get outside of the town, because like I wanted to find the building specifically that I would know it is directly above, and I would inform everyone of where that is, and
yeah,
like,
he doesn't
what the
want me
deal-
near the prison. He's not mentioning the steam engines at all. His guards are, he's not. And I have the presence of the spirit animals is really weird because they're gone.
Yeah.
There's a noticeable absence.
So it just sounds like someone needs to get in the cast.
Yeah,
Because if we're attacking it, we need to know what we're doing.
Yeah, you're specifically removing me from those equations. I would say you need to look there.
I mean, Reed's out there looking for a waifu, isn't
What
he?
does Reed want to do?
I need to go make dinner. Are we about to call it soon?
We're gonna figure out what Reed's doing.
Well, I was going to. Well, first I need to find someone that would actually know, but I was going to try to figure out where his sister is being kept. And more importantly, is she being kept, of her own free will?
Most likely.
Did she actually decide to go along with this?
Didn't Connor?
I said familial hostage, and I said that she's not in her right head.
Okay.
I thought you mentioned that she was in the keep with him, though.
I might have.
She was present at dinner, but did not eat her food.
I mean, then Reed could meet.
No, I know that, but
And Reed could probably meet with Ito and learn that, because Ito knows where she is.
Yeah. There's also the possibility, if we're talking hostage, that then the Zwizikins are alive is because she's going along with. That is add to the drama
Oh
situation.
shit! Yeah, is she taking one for the team?
She might be. Back to Reed, private investigator Underbow.
Reed's looking for where's Ito. He just hears a voice at the top of the lungs from a nearby freaking inn, reciting poetry. Shall think themselves accursed they were not here, and hold their manhoods cheap, while Zinni speaks. They fought with us upon Saint Crispin's day. This must be the place.
I will I will fill Reed in.
Yeah, the point is to mostly get everyone on the same page, so we can.
Here's another option. They are looking for the guys who killed those guards. Somebody could get captured.
Or someone dropped his bait.
If
I mean,
What about the
honestly, I
lizard
could
that
surrender and
incinerated
see
the
them.
I did
they'll take me
say-
to my family.
I did say specifically that those people were clearly coming to kill us and not to capture us. So if that's the case, I don't think they have any interest in capturing us at this point either.
But you know where the prison is. There's 80 to 100 fellow freedom fighters down there.
Or just people that, stole, I guess. How's the game going, Colin?
Say, throw a sword in that hand and shit.
Freedom enough.
And the other.
So what's the plan? Distract the guards, save the people in the prison, get Henley's sister out of there?
Well, it is getting
Now?
late now.
No.
So you can, if you want, you've all got your information. If you want to take some time to discuss it over the course of the next, few days, we can start up next week with you having come up with a plan because it's getting late.
Colin, hint, hint, nudge, nudge.
Sounds good. I need to go make dinner.
I have to
Alright.
figure out something to eat. I'm hungry.
Go have Taco Bell. Colin.
I had
What's your
Taco
favorite?
Bell today already.
Colin, we were analyzing your trash can.
Say what? Oh, it's got Sundrop and Taco Bell in it.
Yep. Always bet on the bell.
It's always got Taco Bell in it. But yeah, think about it, discuss it, and figure it out next week.
Good stuff.
Another mystery solved about Colin's trash can.
If it does not have Taco Bell in it, that means Colin
That means
has
I
died.
just changed the bag.
If Colin doesn't have Taco
Is my
Bell and
robot cyborg?
Sundrop in his trash can, it's a cry for help, and he's been kidnapped.
Yeah.
This is not him.
Go make dinner, Connor, you
leave
liar.
leave the Taco
Big
Bell
liar.
out the
Oh my
bag
god, he
empty.
did.
Oh shit. Okay, but no, we can talk about it. Y'all can figure it out and tell me next week what the plan is.